I'm Mark Sector.
And I'm Linda Zies Palmer.
And this is Arcane Mark. Hello everybody. We are going to play King of the Castle today. KOTC.app and put in the code BCBA, which you can see visible there on the stream. You could join one of 3 lovely factions that we have in here for the kingdom. The 3 factions that are available are the Chiefs of the North, who are kind of like military based, and they worship a pagan deity instead of the 9th god. Then there is the Counts of the East, who are like, no one's ever proven that they do evil rituals during the night, so they're probably like vampires or something. And the Grandees of the South are the ones who are in control of the, like, the actual religion and, like, the Pope or whatever. I don't know if there's a Pope, but, like, the high priests of the main religion in the setting are in the South.
Oh, I see. If you are not a premium player, it will randomly assign you.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah,
there you go. So it looks like, Math Guy Dave is part of the sketchy Eastern Counts, and Linda is in the Grandees of the South. So we just need one more player to be capable of playing. If we have one more person join, hello, Rohit. If you would like to join and become a noble, you will probably be part of the Chiefs of the North, who are a military faction that worship a different deity than the rest of the kingdom, and you can play at, it looks like, KOTC.app with a room code BCBA. We're playing a game where you can join in too. So
go to KOTC.app on any browser.
On any browser, including your phone, go to KOTC.app and enter the room code BCBA. And then you will be able to be part of the Chiefs of the North. Anybody who's watching this can do that. Although, probably only at this beginning part where we're soliciting people to join.
Indeed.
And you can have more than 3 people. You can have up to 8 people or something like that in each of the factions. It'll randomly assign you, but it will definitely assign whoever joins next to the Chiefs of the North.
Indeed.
Because they do not have anybody. There we go. Look at that.
Yes. Rico has
We got
joined Chiefs of the North.
Rico is in the Chiefs of the North because they're the boldest of the factions. They have the highest military, so I guess it makes sense.
That checks out.
And Math Guy Dave has never been proven that his faction performs evil rituals in the dead of night.
Let's give Rohit a chance to get into.
Yeah, of course. Anybody can join. Oh, Rico can switch as a premium player because he bought the game.
I see.
His character is also going to look like Rico then, instead of being randomly assigned an appearance. There you have it.
Rohit is in the Grandees of the South with me.
There you go. The Grandees of the South have 2 people now, and the others have 1.
Oh, Rohit's also premium.
Ooh, shiny.
Very shiny.
That's right. Grandee, Rohit, and Chief Rico.
What do I look like?
Linda, you are this.
Okay.
It actually, considering it just randomly
Considering
picked
it did it randomly,
not too bad. And then Math Guy Dave is there, wearing like a kind of vampire-y little...
The counts must count, like
thing.
on Sesame Street.
Yes, the counts! There you go. Okay, so...
What is the option balance solo noble votes? Does that help with the...
I do not know what balance solo noble
scroll over
votes.
the
What
question
does it
mark.
say? This boosts regions... Creative Burst has joined the Counts of the East with Math Guy Dave. It boosts regions that only have 1 noble. It will count as much as the number of nobles in the 2nd largest region. For example, if there are 3 barons, 2 chiefs, and 1 grandees, the 1 grandee's vote will be counted as 2. In games with equal number of regions of equal numbers, this will only come into effect if 1 region goes down to a single noble. There you go.
It seems like we should...
Creative Burst has become premium and moves to the Chiefs of the North. Chief Creative Burst and Chief Rico. The counts are alone.
Yes.
So I probably will do this. Although
on.
it is, I think it probably a significant advantage to be 1 person whose vote counts as 2.
But it would be a disadvantage to be
It would be a huge disadvantage to just not have enough.
I wonder if we can get one more person to balance this out completely.
That's right. If we can get just one more person to join, we'll have a balanced game where you can... So I'm going to describe... We've not played this. I tried to look it up online. Basically, as far as I can tell, I, as King Mark of the Arcane Dynasty, I'm going to be trying to have an heir in the Arcane Dynasty and then do my, like, legacy so people remember me as a king who did something.
Yes.
Each of your factions will have a scheme. If you can complete your scheme, you overthrow the Arcane Dynasty and create a new dynasty in your image. You can also rebel if your unrest gets higher than my authority, which could be a mistake because you can't do your scheme and you can get crushed. But if your military is high enough, such as, I guess, the chiefs, then you could potentially overthrow the kingdom. Schemes have an advantage over a rebellion. Now, there's another option, which is also, like, we should roleplay because it's more fun if you're roleplaying. But if another region's scheme is way more advanced and it's about to be, like, either a scheme will happen or the king's probably going to win, it could be to your advantage to make the king win instead. Because if the dynasty continues and somebody else spends all their resources on their scheme, you can get buildings or other upgrades that make your region more powerful, and they will persist for you if we ever play it again, and your nobles keep playing and get to keep your stuff in the second game, unless the dynasty is overthrown, and then the table just flips. Yes. So you have an incentive to support the crown if another group is better with their faction, but your group is better with your buildings and upgrades. So that's kind of what's going on here, and I figured that that's kind of all I know, other than that, like, obviously, I'm going to need to try to get an heir, which means that I'll need to try to get a spouse, and then I'll need to try to do a legacy or something like that. Yeah. Also, there are going to be votes, and as the king, I have certain, like, laws that I can pass to affect the votes. Like, every once in a while, I can veto an option that will make the entire kingdom die if it gets voted for, and then that one can't be voted for example.
Yes.
But I have to use that wisely, because if I do it, then it'll be on cooldown, and then the next time, if there's another option that will make the entire kingdom die,
you can't do it again, so you have to decide.
Yes,
Are you going to hoard it like the Mega Elixir?
Am I going to? I probably not, because it's on cooldown, it's not like a limited number of uses. If I never use it, then I never use it. But I have to use the power of the veto wisely.
Yes.
So that's kind of what's going on here, and I guess we could just, if we're not going to get one more person.
Oh, you put a note out of faction had a crab problem.
Oh yeah, I saw a thing in the FAQ that said, "What about crabs?" And
I don't know what that is.
I read the FAQ, which is what gave me some of this info, and the FAQ was like 9 out of 10 of whatever the eastern, or not the eastern, there's like a coastal faction we don't have right here that are merchants. Like 9 out of 10 of the merchants agree that crab trading is the best option.
Oh, Matthew has to leave in 90 minutes too. So.
Okay.
Why don't we?
Let's just go.
Yeah.
Let's begin the game, because it usually takes 90 minutes or less, but if we just sit here at the beginning, then we won't. Alright, so the path to victory. I must acquire an heir and complete my ambition to win. My first reign will likely end in disaster. Keep an eye on the region's schemes. If they pass all their schemes, they win the game. Be careful of the region's defiance stat, or they may rebel against you.
Alright, now for us nobles. To win, pass all 3 stages of your scheme. Each stage requires you to get stats in certain levels, which are affected in votes. How you vote is up to you. If your region scheme to stop other schemes, or for the good of the kingdom. You know, we can
for the good of the kingdom.
If your defiance stat is high enough, you can rebel. This pause of your scheme is risky, especially if you have low military.
Wait, one or more of my regions has no nobles. What happened? Oh, something happened. It looks like they you reconnected. Good work, whoever left. You're back now. Alright, there we go. So, each season we'll get 3 events to play. Click on one to get started. What are our events?
I think they always think the Path to Victory, Council Introduction, and Coronation.
Okay. I guess let's look at the Path to Victory event. The monarch must acquire an heir and complete their ambition to win the game. A spouse is useful, but not necessary. Complete your ambition before a scheme or rebellion usurps you, or before you lose all authority, treasury, or stability. This is your monarch, the main player's character. They'll appear in most stories, but not all. These are the kingdom stats. If any one reaches 0, the game will end. These are the region stats that determine which events are generated.
I see. The
If
trade, farming,
defiance
military,
is higher
faith, and
than
defense.
both authority and stability, the region can trigger a rebellion. This will pause their scheme. It is risky if their military is low. You can scroll through the full list of nobles and their wealth here. That's the wealth that you'll get to keep if
I
if
see. The
don't
nobles
get killed.
list is there on the screen.
Your Majesty, the first few years of your reign are the most difficult.
Says the spy master.
Said the spy master. Okay, what's the event? You're new and unproven. The nobles of the council will scheme against you, hoping to kick you off the throne and put their own puppet claimant in your place. So my choices are, oh no, these fools can't scheme their way out of a paper bag, or how can I stop them? I'll just say, how could I stop them? To defeat their schemes, you must secure an heir and prove you're worthy of the crown by completing an ambition. My question is this. When you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? Let's see. So I can have a goal of military, authority, the conqueror, a peacekeeper, father of the nation, the greatest king who ever lived, the architect of a golden age, or a saint. Let's say the greatest king who ever lived. You're the type who likes to build lots of statues of yourself, aren't you? I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving your authority as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Rico says, is it supposed to tell me the game is paused and waiting for those to continue?
That's what it says
Presumably,
for me.
yes,
Until you finish
this event.
the selection of things.
Because you have to look and see these events,
Yes.
which you're watching on our screen. Council introduction. Now that you're the king, your first duty is to meet with the Council of Nobles, says the Chancellor. Your nobles hail from across the kingdom, the wintry north, the desolate east, and of course the scorching south. Alright.
Who are you going to introduce yourself to first, Mark?
I will introduce myself to the one that's first on the list, and I'll just go in order. I'm not going to play favorites. Chiefs of the North. Good. It's Chief Creative Burst, who says, good luck in the days ahead, Your Majesty. You'll need it dealing with us lot. Alright, now I'll introduce myself to the Counts of the East. Aha, it's Count Math Guy Dave. An honor to finally make your acquaintance, Your Majesty. May you escape the doom that befell your predecessor. And then Grandee Rohit says, may the ninth god bless your reign, Your Holiness. I trust you will conduct yourself with honor and faith. There we go. Rico, it only includes one of the two people, and it'll always include a premium, but both of the Northerners were premium, so it had to choose randomly.
Yeah.
The introductions are done. The council hall immediately fills with raised voices as the nobles argue with each other and demand your favor. You sigh and sit back. This is what the council is like? No wonder your father told you to avoid the throne at all costs.
It's too late.
Coronation time. Your Majesty, I've scheduled your coronation to take place in a week's time.
You can choose, shouldn't I be giving the orders now, or why the hurry?
Why the hurry? To delay any longer would make the nobles restless. And when nobles get restless, they take their daggers and look for the nearest back. We wouldn't want that, I suppose. As is tradition, the council will decide what happens at your coronation. What? But it's my coronation. This isn't an absolute monarchy, Your Majesty. Everything has to be run past a council vote. Even this. Shall we call the nobles in? Certain choices will change your stats. Some choices that do so will indicate this change here. Not all choices that change stats have those indicators, and they do not show the region affected. So it could be that it changes a stat and doesn't tell us that it will. Alright. So we can choose any of these choices, and I can veto. How often can I veto? And I can also vote. Alright.
Now it says your monarch is deliberating. Return here when it's... Welcome to the council. Your monarch is deliberating. Return here when it's time to cast your vote.
Oh, I see. I can use one of my powers. So we could either throw the king into the river.
No, that's what we're going to be voting on, yeah.
Yes. No, you're going to be voting on this. We could either have a lavish parade with jugglers and fountains of wine, which costs money but raises stability. We can proceed with a religious ceremony in honor of the ninth god. I wonder who's going to vote for that, which raises faith. We can throw the king into the river, which raises stability and lowers the king's authority. The nobles must put on a vast banquet for the king, which costs money. Presumably the nobles have to pay too, but raises farming. Okay. So,
looks like you can either choose to take an option off the table or vote or have a vote yourself.
Yes, that's right.
I don't know how often they...
I don't necessarily think any of these is terrible. So, I'm going to vote for having a parade with jugglers, because that seems like a fun thing. I don't want to be thrown into the river. Let's do it. You have 30 seconds to decide what coronation will happen.
Well, it's pretty easy to decide for the faction of all about the ninth god.
Okay, it looks like, unfortunately for you, ninth god, that the north and the east combined to throw me into the river.
And lower your authority, which is the thing you definitely want.
Yes, maybe I should have vetoed throw the king into the river.
Perhaps.
Or I either should have done that or voted for the religious one so that that my religious people would vote alongside me. Whoops. I also forgot that Math Guy had double votes too. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't have mattered if I voted with you because it would have been 3.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, that's not good.
It's more stable,
it's
but less
civil,
authority.
But is more dubious.
Yes.
It's decided the king will be thrown in the river. What? What kind of coronation is that? A very traditional ceremony dating back to Queen Alma the Wise. It's meant to represent you being reborn as a true king. The nobles pick you up and carry you out to the Trembwater River, hurling you into the shallow water with a cheer. When you climb back up the bank soaking wet, the chancellor steps forward and places the crown upon your head. Is it your imagination or some of the nobles' stifling giggles?
Not stifling so well.
Math Guy's laughing maniacally.
No wonder your authority
Now
went
that you've
down.
played all events, advance the game by clicking End Season. Alright, we're going to end the season. Each region will now vote for one of their 3 schemes that they have available.
Henny of the Rico clan, well-known northern rascal, stands precariously in a longhouse crossbeam, scheming like a fallen god.
It's Henny of the Rico clan.
Yes.
No, Henny is a separate character. It's probably Rico's, or the northern faction's claimant.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
It's not actually the same person as Rico, but it's probably Rico's probably the clan leader, and this is someone who's gonna try to usurp the throne if the north takes over.
Understood.
Chiefs of the North, we all know, should be on the throne.
I should be on the throne.
I should be on the throne, not this imposter King Mark. How do we make that happen? Now vote, Northern Chiefs only. What scheme shall you use? Sorcery? Uprising? Or Ragnarok? They voted for Ragnarok. Alright, it looks like they're Vikings.
Yeah.
Because they voted for Ragnarok. They're the Viking. Alright, the voting has closed. 2 nobles voted for Ragnarok. The chiefs plan to make an alliance with the ice giants to take over the kingdom. First, they must not be weak or the giants won't take their proposal seriously. To advance their scheme, the chiefs must raise their military to 5 or more and set forces. They have that much already. Their scheme is already advanced. I guess they need to make sure it doesn't go down.
Yeah.
The Counts. Amalia of the
Math
Guy Dave dynasty, notorious reformed cultist, leans delicately on a podium, speaking in a melodious voice. My fellow counts, in ancient times, the East was its own proud kingdom. We can bring back those days of glory, but not while the false King Mark wears the crown. Counts, what scheme shall you use? Subterfuge to lower stability, ascension to lower your own faith, or possession, where you lower your own defiance to and try to possess the monarch using the ghostly arts of possession.
Well, maybe that's you getting possessed because your own defiance.
Because they lower their own defiance, so
I see.
It gets so low that they become as one with the monarch and then possess them.
Yeah.
All right, they're gonna try to lower their own faith. Voting has closed. Ascension. The Counts plan to induct the king into their secret cult and offer him immortality in exchange for the throne. First, they must reduce the power of the Eastern Church. So I give up the throne but become immortal. I guess that way I won't have a severed head on the wall. To advance their scheme, the counts must lower their faith to 4 in 3 or less seasons, which they already have. So they need to not have it rise, but don't worry, the Grandees will try to...
Zenovia of the Linda lineage, notorious southern orator, stands bathed in sunshine, droning on as vinter days. False pretender occupies the throne while my claim is ignored. Grandees of the South, this is a stain on our honor. We must not allow it to go unanswered.
Let's scheme, Linda, should the Grandees pursue to overthrow me and place their preferred claimant Zenoviva on the throne. Intimidation, raising the stability of the kingdom. Fervor, raising their own farming score. Or excommunication, lowering the stability of the kingdom. The stability is high. Will it be easy to lower it? Okay, you guys. That's our highest score, though.
I know, but it's funny because it plays well with the other one where it's you just said you were flirting with this immortality idea. So.
All right. I mean, it sounds like a better deal than being killed.
Yes.
If I'm going to lose, I'd rather lose to Math Guy Dave, assuming he actually grants me immortality.
I just think that it's funny.
Okay, let's see. The Grandees plan to persuade the Archbishop to excommunicate the king. First, they must lower all royal credibility. To advance their scheme, the Grandees must lower the stability to 4 or less.
Oh, we don't have much time.
And 6 right now.
That could be tricky.
Here you can review the region's schemes and their claimants. Ragnarok, Ascension, or Excommunication. When you have an heir, they will also appear. If your reign ends abruptly, the nobles will vote for the next monarch. That's if we get to 0 in anything. Alright. Here we go. Let's continue to the laws of the land. We can adopt a new law. You can only adopt 1 new law at a time and have a maximum of 3 laws at once. Let's see. I can give you money if you vote for my option. Oh, wait, no. I gain money if you vote for the option I think you'll vote for. Alright. Let's see. If they vote for my preferred voting option, I gain 1 authority. And how noble chooses hidden from the monarch's view. I'm definitely not going to pick anonymous voting. I'm going to choose Monarch's Iron Choice, so that way if there's a bad option, I can add a +1 authority to it, so that if I think it's going to win, so that I at least get +1 authority.
Math Guy says you can totally live forever on Sesame Street.
Da, da, da. Alright. Alright, so it looks like there's a few events that we can look at. There's an event in the sovereignty, like the main capital region. There's an event here in the north. Is the capital, like, in the north? It looks like it is.
Yeah, it is.
There's an avalanche, an honor guard, and there's a new plague in the east. Okay, the honor guard doesn't sound so bad. Maybe we should do that one first so that we don't feel too terrible about ourselves. Here we go. Now that you are king, you need personal protection. Why, I could plunge my sword into your heart right now, could I not? I suppose so. You need an honor guard to keep you safe from such dangers, Your Majesty. Unfortunately, this is a political decision. What are my options? Each region offers a selection of elite guards. The chiefs with their most famous warrior heroes, the counts with knights of the Order of the Drowned Rose, and the grandees offer the fiercest battle nuns for the Sisterhood of Steel. Think carefully, Your Majesty. These guards' loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you could just hire foreign mercenaries. They'd be loyal to coin above all. Alright, hold on. Tell me about these northern warriors. Bearded oafs with axes and no manners. They'll get drunk and cause trouble in the palace. No discipline at all. I can't guarantee they won't run off on some random quest, but they're honorable and in a fight, unbeatable. Tell me about these Eastern Knights. The Order of the Drawn Rose are highly respectable. They understand palace etiquette, but it's been years since they fought an actual battle. They mostly write poems these days. Tell me about these Southern battle nuns. Terrifying warriors. They've sworn a vow of silence, so at least they won't spill state secrets. But their faith and loyalty is to the church above all, even your own safety. By the way, new people who are joining, I think you can still go to the KOTC.app and put in code BCBA and you'll join
one of the factions.
You'll probably join Math Guy Dave's Eastern Vampire faction who are offering me immortality. What foreign mercenaries do you suggest? A band of fearsome fighters from the Tatterlands called the Battle-Bitten Brethren. They specialize in bodyguard work, but they're costly, and hiring foreigners will betray a lack of confidence in our kingdom's fighters. Let me see. I've made my decision. Alright. Well. Now, the Northern Warriors are obviously the most powerful option. However, given that the Northerners have made no secret of the fact that they're planning on allying with the Frost Giants to start Ragnarok, I feel like if my personal bodyguards come from the faction that is probably going to start a Ragnarok war to destroy everything.
I mean, there's only one clearly bad option here, the one that costs you money and authority when authority is what you need, the foreign mercenaries.
I have a feeling that the Northern Warriors, being my bodyguards, would allow them to assassinate me really easily if the Northern Warriors
Rico says I voted for a Ragnarok, not necessarily that Ragnarok.
Whereas the Eastern Knights don't even know what they're doing with fighting. They could be good poets, but I apparently should have an honor guard. So I'm going to pick the Southern Nuns because they're both less likely to cause a Ragnarok, and they know how to fight. Just be sure not to do anything
that would require you to become excommunicated.
Well, I'm going to try not to be excommunicated, but I feel less threatened by the South because they tried to do a thing that's incredibly difficult. I'll make the arrangement at once. This makes the South loyal to me, but makes the other two now aloof. Mm-hmm. The battle nuns arrive in the palace a few weeks later. They nod to you silently, their solemn steel mask betraying nothing, before filing into formation behind your throne. Creative Burst says this slight will not go unpunished. Alright. Wait, what are this? Wait, another... so yeah, there's the plague and there's the avalanche. Let's see about the avalanche. What's going on here? A devastating avalanche has buried a mountain village within my domain. There were few survivors, says Chief Creative Burst. Alright.
You have chosen wisely.
I want to lend a helping hand to the Northern Chiefs. This is a travesty that something bad has happened to something in the kingdom. We need to help them.
I say you've chosen wisely, but the silent monks just stand behind you impassive and give no thought.
The other nobles are under no obligation to help the North. Surely they will vote with compassion. Please, everyone, send financial aid to the North. Let's see. What can we do here? We can send them money, or we can instruct the Archbishop to lead a memorial for those who were lost. Or say there's nothing to be done. That's what the nobles can pick. Alright, so I think that we should probably either send financial aid or instruct the Archbishop to lead a memorial for those who were lost. So, I'm good with either of those, but I suppose I should pick one of these. So, I'm going to use the Monarch's Iron Choice on send financial aid. So, that'll get me some authority. That's the one that makes me lose some treasury if you pick it. So I might as well gain some authority for that. But I also think instructing the Archbishop would be a good thing. We need to do something to help the North. They're in a crisis here. So you have 30 seconds to vote.
Not gonna lower faith.
Math Guy Dave said the poets won't kill you at least. I'm not so sure those poets might be spellcasters. Alright. It looks like Creative Burst and Linda are, and Rico all want to send financial aid.
Oh, Gustav joined the...
Count Gustavo has joined Math Guy's faction. And they split their votes on a memorial and nothing to be done. Okay, so we're sending financial aid to the North. Okay, North. We helped you out here. We sent financial aid. Your funds go toward resettling the survivors in neighboring villages with enough gold to see them through the winter. Authority is now credible. Defiance is now cordial. Treasury is now 1,800. Chief Creative Burst skims a little off the top, of course, for his trouble.
Gustavo's telling the look at
Ah, cool.
Awesome.
All right, so, last but not least, there's a plague in the east. Count Gustavo says, Your Highness, the East has been struck with plague, and not just any plague, a dancing plague. Explain this to me. It affects everyone, even dogs and cats. We don't know how it started, but it's spreading quickly. Whole villages are dancing themselves half to death. Alright, so we have some options here. We can either quarantine the affected villages, we can pass a law that forbids dancing, or we can let it be. How bad is dancing anyway? So I think that dancing. So if we let it be, farming will go down, presumably in the counts region, which will make it so that the counts do not have as much in some of their resources, and stability will go down. If we pass a law that forbids dancing, authority will go up, stability will go down, and defiance in the region will go up because they will not be happy that they were not allowed to dance. And if we quarantine the villagers, trade will go down, presumably in the region.
It's not a secret. The goals were all picked earlier on, openly on the screen. It's all open information in this game.
So
for example, the faction that I'm in is trying to lower stability.
Yes. So
and the faction which is the southern faction, and the northern faction is trying to be high military.
Okay. So let's see. You know what? South, I know you guys want to lower stability, and you're going to need some help because you need to do it at least once for each thing, so you kind of need one of these to pass. I still think you won't actually lower stability enough, even if we work together a little bit on this, but I think we should forbid dancing so that it can at least not have to quarantine the entire area, which will cause the counts to probably lose massive amounts of trade. Also, counts. The one that I just picked is the only one that's not going to lower one of your region's scores. It actually will raise your defiance, which you might want. Either of the other ones would have made you guys lose farming or trade. So I think this is the safest for the counts, while also being the one that literally does what the South wants. So please vote for B. I think it's better for all of you, except for probably potentially the North doesn't care about any of these.
So North put their vote in. It's like, yes. If we pass a law that forbids dancing, clearly they will stop dancing.
Yes, because I think that this is the only one that won't lower one of the counts' stats, while also being one that raises, that lowers stability like the South wants.
Rico says dancing is for fools.
Yeah, those in the North don't like dancing. All right, it looks like the counts were too plagued to vote. Oh no, one of them actually did eventually vote for quarantine. So my vote made the deciding vote.
Mm-hmm.
3 nobles and the monarch voted for passing a law that forbids dancing. The peasantry and nobility are unhappy with the new dancing ban, which has earned you the honor of the cantankerous king.
The East's defiance is now
grumbly. They're a little grumbly about not being able to dance, but we stopped the plague.
Does the East need to get defiance down?
Wait, worse still, didn't slow the spread. No matter how much one is flawed or fine, they continue to dance. Soon your bailiffs are dancing along with them. Uh-oh. I guess we should have done the quarantine. That was probably have actually stopped the spread. I was assuming that if we banned it, then that would help stop the spread. Whoops.
I was assuming it wouldn't. Well, that's why it destabilizes things.
Okay.
It wouldn't have lowered stability.
Now you nobles, you have your wealth, which Creative Burst has the most wealth. You can bid on a building in any region, which will affect a stat. This is done through an auction where only the 2 most funded buildings are chosen. When the auction is open, nobles can fund. So the 2 most funded buildings out of these 6 will be built in their area. So we can either build a deer park that lowers farming in for the chiefs, a fortress that raises military for the chiefs. I don't recommend anybody except for the chiefs help them build that because it will help them create a Ragnarok. An observatory that lowers faith for the counts. Again, that will help the counts who, if their faith went up, would actually not be meeting their goal. So other people probably you don't want that to happen except for the counts. You could lower the counts military, which, like, maybe you want to do if you're not the counts. Just like you might want to lower the farming of the North. And if you're the Grandees, you can either raise your own trade,
or
which you
lower
don't
the
need,
stability,
or lower
which we
the
need to.
kingdom stability, which the Grandees want. So
yeah. Send people to prison for dancing. That seems like it will definitely lower the stability.
Yeah. Tell the Locador, we might play it for the beginning again later if people like it. So you can build a prison, a grand bazaar, an observatory, a stadium, a fortress, or a deer park. And we're starting the auction. It begins. So put your money in increments of 100 towards things you want to build in a certain region. I suggest that you spend your money towards things that you like. So, like, for example, the Counts and the North are very, very close to losing their thing if something happens, whereas the Grandees don't even have theirs. So I definitely think you guys should bid on the ones that do your goal, which all of them have something that does their goal. Looks like some people have actually bidded on screwing over the Counts' military. Ooh, the Grandees are in the lead of this auction right now. It looks like they're... oh, no! The Chiefs used some of that extra money they skimmed from the relief funds in order to get slightly ahead on the fortress. And the Counts are close behind. The top 2 will be built. So one of these 3... right now, the Counts Observatory is not going to be built unless they throw in the money. Oh, which they did. Right now, the fortress is not going to be built. Oh, let's see what happens. The fortress got thrown out at the last second. We got a prison and an observatory.
Rowan and I nearly bankrupted ourselves throwing money behind that prison because we need to get the stability down.
You need the stability down, absolutely. Biggest contributor, Rohit spent 90%.
Yeah.
And that guy spent 90% on the observatory. So now the counts are safe, pretty safe, and the Grandees have what they need. They did it in 2 turns. So I think... there's 3 new things. We are finding a spouse, a curious discovery, and dancing fever. Oh no, the dancing is spreading instead of quarantine. Next time I'm gonna quarantine. Now that I know that it didn't work.
Well, it did say at the beginning of the game that winning your first time around is very dubious.
I thought banning it might also work. Let's find a spouse. I need that. Or I probably need that. In the twisty passage of your castle, you can avoid your advisors, the nobles, even the spy master. But there's one person you can't avoid. Your mom. Why haven't you found a spouse yet? It's been almost a year. I've been busy. You better find the time. Don't worry, I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What is your preference, men, women, or do you not mind?
Men, women, any, or I'm not interested in love.
You could be... Arrow. I'm gonna say women. That seems like a more, like...
more similar to Mark.
Similar to me.
Yes.
/ like, monarchy. Excellent. I'll send out messengers to the most influential noble families in the kingdom. Let's see what they have to offer. Uh-oh. It may be something really weird.
Oh, it will.
Okay. Are there lose conditions? Tala de Locadora. If any of these things at the top go to 0, I will be decapitated. If somebody, which is probably, if it's anyone going to be the North, decides that they're going to rebel against me, their defiance has to get up, which I guess means the counts are the closest to be able to do it. But if the North rebels and has enough military to do so, then I might lose. And also, if any of the schemes complete, then I would lose. Also, technically, if somebody else is going to win, you would, most people, since you get to keep your buildings and other upgrades... If you're doing well on that, you might rather that the king win over another noble faction because you can keep your stuff. Alright, so now there's a curious discovery and dancing. The curious discovery could be good. Let's see if the North has brought in something good because the East is not going to have anything good. Your Majesty will recall the devastating avalanche that struck the North.
I remember tragedy vaguely, or I won't lie, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, I remember, a tragedy. The avalanche uncovered an ancient stone door embedded in the mountainsides. We suspect it may be one of our ancestors' tombs. Some locals pried open the door and investigated within. They did not return. How should we investigate these magical tombs? We can send a group of renowned northern warriors to explore the ruins. We can send a team of scholars from Quail University, or order the tomb shut back up. Okay. Well, I, for one, think that if the randos who found it just never heard from again, those scholars are gonna die. Although maybe not. Maybe there were puzzles or something that the scholars will solve, and I'm just totally wrong. If we shut it back up, the defiance goes up. So it sounds like the Northerners don't want the tomb shut back up. Because otherwise, if the Northerners were like, don't disturb our tomb, then I'd be like, okay, it's your region. But the defiance going up indicates that the Northerners want to learn about their ancient past because their religion is not really being represented. So because of that...
I don't know where Quail is, but I feel like it might be...
I don't know which region Quail is from. It's probably in the east, I guess.
Given that they're like the weird poets and mysticism and like...
Yes. I'm going to say that I'm going to pick a Monarch's Iron Choice on sending the Northern Warriors. I think they could survive and discover things. And it sounds like the North wants their warriors sent, and there could be something interesting there. So let's send Northern Warriors. They're the greatest warriors in the kingdom. To go. I'm putting an iron choice there, but you can vote for whatever you want in terms of any of these things. I think only the Northern Warriors will be able to explore the ruins, and also since there's no options of what's going to happen, that means a random thing is going to happen to the kingdom that we will not find out. We won't find out the results because it doesn't indicate what the results are. So I want to see what's in the tomb, and I think that we're most likely to succeed with Northern Warriors. We'll learn if that's wrong, and then we needed the university
I suppose.
people.
I definitely don't want to get them getting any more defiant ideas with
then
their
that would let
giant
them
military,
overthrow
because they
us.
might overthrow.
That's true. All right. We're sending the renowned Northern Warriors to explore the ruins. Come on. The North has no short supply of warrior heroes. The only problem is finding a group who are willing to work together. There are a lot of ancient feuds to tiptoe around. The chief's finally setting on a champion named Hrothvir, known for juggling live scorpions. He will lead a band of brave warriors into the tomb. You hope to hear back from them soon.
And if you don't hear back from them, then maybe they're
I guess we're not going to find out what happens until later.
Yes.
Okay, this is... Oh, guys, okay. I'm sorry. We should have done quarantine like you guys said. My vote was the deciding vote.
Surely that will lower stability.
I thought it was going to help. Count Gustavo stands before you, hopping frantically from one foot to the other as he speaks. The plague, your grace, is spreading. Well, I think I've been affected myself. Let's see. You think I should do something about it, I assume. Yes, you need to do something or we'll dance ourselves to death. This may look fun, but trust me, it's anything but... Okay, so we do not have enough money to hire a wizard to remove the curse. We could order the nobles to hide in their castles and wait it out. That seems cruel. Wait, all of these options are terrible. I think we needed money to hire the wizard, but the wizard is too expensive. Oh my gosh. This is awful. This is awful, you guys. I don't know what to do here. Like... This is bad. All the options are bad.
Yeah, they are. You don't have enough...
The nobility is already infected, so... Like, I guess I'm just gonna veto this one where we get 3 negative things everywhere and the purple region loses trade. I don't want you guys to lose trade. You're not gonna actually lose anything from...
But they'll get more defiance.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's fine. Their military is only 5 for now. I'm going to veto the option where you just wait it out because that seems really bad.
Alright, we only have one choice. It lowers stability, that works for me.
Yeah. I'm worried our stability is going to get to 0, but all the options lowered stability. Voting has closed.
There was only one choice.
There's only one choice. We didn't have enough money to help. Not everyone is keen to show solidarity. Still, it's the best way of showing the peasants that you're all in this together. The South's defiance is now cordial.
The East is now insolent, and the North is now...
Oh, everybody got mad. I see.
Yeah.
You dance your way to the council chambers every day, then dance your way to dinner, then dance back to bed. In your sleep, your feet do a little jig. Eventually, the plague runs its natural course. Now, though, even the hint of a jaunty tune sends half the population into a frenzied panic. Many will never dance again. Stability is now unstable. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
We didn't have enough money.
There wasn't. If we hadn't sent relief funds to the north that was skimmed by creative bursts and had just let the archbishop pray for the north, we might have had enough money to stop this. Okay.
That guy says, "Oh no, your kingdom is falling. Maybe time to become a vampire."
Meanwhile, back in the south, in a picturesque castle overlooking the southern city of Serena, 2 scheming grandees are lying back and enjoying the sun. The city may look peaceful. This is what Rohit says. The city may look peaceful. Underneath, it's nothing but discontent. All across the kingdom, peasants are sharpening their cutlery and barricading their shacks.
They know a storm is coming, and who better to blame but the king for that, but the king himself?
Exactly. The commoners are afraid, and it's time for them to find their fate. By the way, if the commoners don't like things with lower stability, why did my thing say it was good for the commoners that I vetoed the other option? I don't know. Anyway... For the next stage of our scheme, the grandees must raise all regions' faith to a combined total of at least 10.
In 4 seasons.
Oh, it is exactly 10. So if other people don't... I guess...
But they want to lower their faith.
What?
Yeah,
the counts want to lower their faith.
Yeah,
but they already lowered it to enough. But here's the thing.
But if they lower it
having
again,
a really difficult thing where you only had 2 seasons to do it also means by the time they've done their things, you'll almost be done your second stage. So you're faster to win by having the harder one.
Oh, I see. Creative Burst says, well, we'll never embrace the heretical faith.
Yes.
I think we,
The counts,
Rohan, I think we may just need to bring people in our own lands into a religious frenzy then.
and the Chiefs already are at 0. So the
Yes.
counts will want to lower their own faith to a little bit. But then if you make themselves very religious, it will probably... Like, I don't see how it could... 10 is really easy for the Grandees. I don't see how it could be any easier. Given the counts have lowered theirs, and we have the one that starts at 0. Alright, we can set different levels of taxes or bribes for each region in the kingdom, potentially punishing some while rewarding others. Balance the needs of your treasury against defiance changes. Remember, if a region's defiance is higher than both, authority and stability can rebel. Alright, so guys, here's what I'm thinking. We need some money because if we had it, we would have been able to stop the plague in the east. And,
Mad Guy says tax the rich. That could be dangerous. I guess they're not as defiant
let's see.
as some of the others.
We don't really have a lot of money.
Creative says, don't you dare.
Okay. I feel like there was a avalanche in the north. There was a plague in the east. We have to put a little bit of an extra tax on the south because of the fact that the south just literally sat sunbathing and laughed hysterically at the plague and the avalanche in the other regions. So just this once, I'm going to put a higher tax on the south because they had no problems.
Seriously, we took all those dangerous dancing prisoners off the streets as you told us that we should do.
You did.
We handled that issue.
But
you
it
said
turned
to
out
criminalize
the others were right. It was quarantine. I think it was.
We put so much of our own resources.
The silent
into this.
nuns were whispering it into my ear by their gazes from their iron masks. All right, they're now aloof.
We are now poor.
But we have enough money to hire a wizard if we need one again.
That guy says this always happens when I play against my wife. She picks on
All
me
right.
too.
Oh, Crossfear returns. I definitely want to see that.
Out of character, I think that was definitely the smartest choice. But
I think we needed the money. What if you're the one with the plague next time, Linda? All right, Crossfear returns and they're eligible bachelorette.
What's this? We'll pray to Jesus so hard. Yes,
Okay,
we will.
there you go.
We have to rely on the power of faith even more now that we don't have money.
I also figured that if you guys had less money, you might not be able to build extra religious things, and maybe others could help on that because you're close to overthrowing me with excommunication. Crossfear, you can do it, buddy. Let's see. He survived. That's a good sign. Chief Creative Person, we have received word from Crossfear, Your Majesty. He has returned from his exploration of the mountain too.
Aha, he's back, or who?
Aha, he's back. Yes, he is. Unfortunately, Your Majesty, this is not a cause for celebration. Uh-oh. Hrothgar now marches at the head of an army of magic warriors made entirely from ice who believe Hrothgar is their ancient king? Why does stuff like this always happen to me? The traitor Hrothgar plans to take your throne with his frozen army. We don't have long to decide on a response. Do we know the origin of these ice warriors? The ancient northern king Bjarnadolf was rumored to be a warlock who created his own soldiers from snow and used them to crush his rivals. If these are his creations, though, they must be over 400 years old. Uh-oh. Guys, this is not good.
Some choice of uncertain outcomes.
If the Chiefs face Hrothgar in battle, because he's going to destroy the North first, they have a 50% chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
If we send an assassin after him, it will take over half of our money to kill him. And if we do nothing, then I will lose authority, the North's defiance will go up, and the North will lose their military, which will cause them to fail their scheme. I see. Okay. Guys, I don't know. Like, the assassin costs so much of our money that if we have, like, a plague issue again, we're not going to be able to hire a wizard. I think that we should probably order the Chiefs to gather their army, because even though it says 50% on here, we know the Chiefs are the strongest military, that they will be able to do it. I'm sure the Chiefs aren't going to vote for do nothing because it will ruin their entire scheme. So I'm going to put a Monarch's Iron Choice on sending the Chiefs to battle. And I won't judge you if you pick the assassin, but I think that I'm worried about our treasury, meaning that we won't be able to afford things otherwise.
Yeah, I'm thinking that if we were to pick do nothing, the defiance of those people.
All right, looks like a lot of people are picking an assassin anyway.
Go too great. I'm worried about if we don't have any money.
Well, I guess we're sending an assassin. It's not honorable. I'm sorry, Northern. Oh, wait. You guys in the North are the ones who wanted the assassin in the first place. Yeah. You didn't trust your own warrior? Okay.
Oh, authority being set. Oh, authority is 7. They don't want you to have too much authority.
I see. The assassin strikes true. Hrothgar is dead before the week is out, strangled in his bedroll.
Oh, Rowan made a good point. Lack of material goods will make people turn to faith.
The Ice Warriors retaliate from the assassination by rampaging the countryside, burning farms, and killing peasants. You lost all your farms, North. That is what you get for being dishonorable. And it did actually lower stability, as Rohit predicted.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
By the way,
that was
you've lowered stability enough already, you guys. If you lower it to 0, you actually won't win.
Yeah.
Because I will be executed, and then there'll be a vote, and the other factions could choose to have you guys not win.
Yeah, so
you need me to live long enough for your scheme to
So we do
survive.
have to be careful. We do have to be careful about that, Rohit, to make sure it doesn't go down to 0.
Also, now the North is starving, but I told you guys not to do that. Because we wouldn't have dealt with the Ice Army. The army tries to fight Ice Warriors, but they prove impossible to catch, blending into the snow and avoiding the northern troops.
Buy our food, says the Count.
They do have the most farms. Eventually, the Ice Warriors claim a nearby mountain fortress and dig in, resisting all attempts to root them out. Great. We should have fought them, like I said. No, if you had fought them, they would have a 50% chance. Alright, well, guys, that was a disaster. Let's see what happens here. 3 potential matches. 1 eligible young woman for each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely as you'll be securing a powerful alliance.
That guy says, just let it go already. It's over and done.
Let's see. And a partner for life to have it to hold, don't forget. I suppose so. The alliances come first. Your mother leads you to the Great Hall, where she's arranged 3 portraits on easels. For now, each is covered by cloth. Wait, I don't even get to meet them? There's no time for sentiment. You just need a match that fits your station and suits your political needs. She whisks away the cloth from the first portrait. This is Heth, firstborn daughter of the Northern Rico clan. She's your typical Northern lass. Big, brawny, and honest in the same way an axe to the face is honest. And she's wearing like a dead fox. Despite that, she's clearly got some brains. She's an avid reader with a vast library. She's an incredibly driven person by all counts. Gets up at the crack of dawn each morning and goes for a swim at the frozen lake. I can see the appeal, I suppose. This is Lorelei, the eldest daughter of the Eastern Gustavo dynasty. I met her at a party once, but all she did was squeak out a hello and run away. Seemed nice enough. See that beautiful fur coat she's wearing in the portrait? Wolf pelt. Hunted her. I don't even see that. She did have to suppress a peasant revolt on her land recently. I wonder why. She's an intriguing candidate. Finally, from the south, Zaremia, the eldest daughter of the Linda lineage. See that scar? She got it in a duel. She's always challenging people over some slight.
Why do I look like a Callisto?
The only thing she cares for is her faith, which she places above all worldly concerns. Despite that, though, she said to have collected sins like a soldier collects medals. I don't like the sound of that.
Oh, no.
What do you think? Of course, by picking a candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but gain a lifelong alliance. The
nuns disapprove of you vetoing that choice.
Let's see. I feel like that the one who has peasant uprisings may be secretly evil and may hurt my stability with whatever she's doing, which I think nobody should want because then you won't be able to complete your schemes. Whereas I don't like the religious one who's all religion, partially because that scheme, I don't want to get excommunicated by my own wife. So, I think I'm going to pick the northern one. She's the one who likes reading books.
Your masked guard silently point to Zaremia is the correct choice and not.
I'm worried that Lorelei has had so many peasant revolts given our stability. I'm thinking that they might add events that are based on what their personality is like, and I do not want her to be, like, drinking peasants' blood or something like that secretly, or bathing in their blood to give herself eternal youth, which totally could happen in this setting.
Lorelai is totally fine.
I've made my decision. I'm picking... she likes to dance. I'm picking Het of the North. Defiance is now aggrieved. Oh,
the North is loyal.
The North are loyal. Okay. We've done it. Now, where's the third event? Oh, it's underneath the South banner. That's why I couldn't see it.
Oh, there it is.
What
Attacks something.
A taxing issue. Your Majesty, help us. Grandee Rohit of the South has been bleeding us dry.
Rohit did say that if the people
He did. He said that he was gonna. Didn't he say like he was gonna get money from them if I took money from him? And okay, not literally. I hope. Wait, no. What is he doing? Our taxes are 10 times higher than they've ever been. I can't afford to feed me cows. It's true, Your Majesty. Grandee Rohit has been taxing his peasants at least twice as much as the next highest noble. It's been a hard year, Your Highness. I have barely any gold in my vault. I'm just doing what I can to stay afloat. Let's see. I can either say you're clearly having a hard time, I'll let you off, and Rohit gets 750 money from stealing from all of his peasants, but it destroys the farms of the southern region. Or I can say, what about the poor peasants' cows? Or this is a matter for the council's consideration. I'm gonna have to say, even though I get to pick this unilaterally, I'm bringing this up to the council. I don't know if we should just let Rohit take all this money.
I think you could let Rohit take all this money.
I'm bringing this to the council. I'm bringing it to the council. So, our choices are... throw Grandee Rohit into the dungeon to teach him a lesson. But that costs a lot of money. Oh no, he loses money. He will lose 750 money. Or allow him to keep overtaxing the peasants. Which is the option that I could have just done unilaterally without bringing it to the council. Or we can help have a royal tax collector take over duties in the south. And that will make Rohit lose less money than if we throw him into the dungeon to teach him a lesson. So I'm actually honestly kind of fine with any of these. Although, like, I feel like maybe we shouldn't give Rohit all this money. But I don't know that I need to put my thumb on the scale here. Oh, but wait, this is the last one. So I am going to... I think this is the last one of the season, so I might as well just put my vote on, I don't know. I have pretty good authority already. I'm worried about our treasury because of what happened there, so I'm going to put money on a tax collector. That seems like it's the most fair. Also, yeah, there, we'll just do that. Let's start the vote.
I like more money for us.
Come on, guys. It's close. Oh, it was split. My vote really mattered. If I hadn't done it, it would have been a complete tie. Oh, wait,
no,
it
went in there
have.
at the last minute.
Because Gustavo went at the last minute. All right, here we go. A royal tax collector is going to take control. Now we'll finally have...
Unsurprisingly, Rohit voted for Rohit
to keep all the money. By all that's holy, tax
collection has been our duty since the days of old. Why should the rest of us be punished because of Grandee Rohit's mistakes? Defiance is now aggrieved.
The royal tax collector proves to be diligent and efficient. The Grandees are outrageous implications. They can't be... They can't! Rohit cannot be.
I think it's time for excommunication, Rohit.
Linda was mad because of the fact that only Rohit's crimes, but Linda, Rohit was half of your people. Alright. Some Grandee's wealth has been decreased, aka Rohit.
Yes.
Alright, it's time to end the season.
We should prepare for excommunication,
Hiding
Rohit.
from the church, in a distant village far to the east, two counts meet in a derelict tavern. No one dares even glance in their direction. Mathguy, another priest left my estate today. He said there was no sense preaching to the truly lost. Amalia, who is their claimant, says, I've heard the same across the east. We are no longer trapped under the church's thumb. No, we must not falter. If the king grows proud, we can offer him the ultimate reward, immortality. For the next stage of the scheme, the council must raise authority to 5 or more, but I need authority to be high or I can't win. And it already is really high.
Yeah, so they've got there.
They've got it, and they probably are going to keep raising it. Okay, what have I got here? If the nobles vote for my choice, they gain extra money. That's pretty good. This is, I gamble to see if I know which one the nobles will choose. And then the other one is nobles must vote for their least favorite option, and the option with the least votes will pass.
That's
okay,
wacky.
so that's so wacky. I don't know. I kind of am okay with the ones that we have here. Now, obviously, being able to bribe people into voting for voting my way is pretty good. But I think having one vote is probably more useful. So I guess I'll just end this for now. Maybe I should have taken the golden choice instead of Monarch's vote, but we'll see. All right, there should be an auction. Oh no, there wasn't an auction this time. Okay, the ice fortress of the ice warriors is still a problem.
There's a horrible haunting.
Oh no, and there's a royal wedding. Let's have the wedding here with my northern bride.
Before you go into all that nonsense.
Your wedding to Heth is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. It feels like you're the only one not taking part. Instead, you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Heth at your side. Do you take this woman as your lawfully wedded wife? I can say, I changed my mind. I can't do this. No, I'm going to say yes. Oh, it'll raise stability. We got an achievement. Oh, it lowered defiance, and it can't go lower in the north. After the wedding, of course, there's a feast. Oh, I'm now iron-fisted. After the feast, a dance. Your new wife, Heth, delivers a short but heartfelt toast expressing a wish to get to know you better. By the time you find yourself alone with Heth, it's past midnight. You've never felt more tired. Heth says, I miss the north. It's too warm down here, and people twist their words. They don't mean what they say. Isn't our capital in the north? Like, it's kind of like a circle that's in the middle of the north, near the north part of the north?
I guess she's from the northeast north.
I don't understand, but I think we're in the north. So, let's say. I can just say, what do you mean? Because I don't understand why she's not in the north. Everyone here speaks in circles, insulting each other without really insulting each other. I don't know how you stand it. It's tough, but I have to do my duty. By the old gods, I feel for you. I couldn't do it. After finishing the last of the wine, you head to your separate bedchambers. It seems your wife is happy to take her time getting to know you. We need to have an heir soon. I'm gonna get excommunicated.
Yeah, well, you decided to marry someone from a region
heirs.
with 0 faith.
I guess I should have told her that I'd rather rule in the north, but north of here is like the frozen waste. Nobody's gonna rule from there. Anyway, let's see what's going on with this ice fortress that the dishonorable assassins of my lovely wife's region decide to send after their own greatest warrior. The ice warriors in the north have occupied an old ruined castle. They're rebuilding it, declaring themselves an independent fiefdom still loyal to the long-dead King Bjarnal. We cannot let this stand. They're a threat that must be dealt with. Okay, so our choices are send a diplomatic envoy to the Ice Warriors, deliver them the crumbling skeleton of King Bjarnal. That can't go right. They're gonna resurrect him somehow as like a Lich King. There's no way we should do that. We can send the Northern Army to wipe them out, or we can do nothing. Okay, so guys, the North could have sent the army at a 50% chance to win before. They assassinated people. I think the Northerners can still do it. Also, if you're not the Northerners, keep in mind that if their military goes down while wiping out the ice, they cannot start Ragnarok. I'm just gonna point that out to everybody that the Northerners can't start Ragnarok if their military goes down. But I believe in them they should fix their own problem because they picked to assassinate their own man. So I'm going to vote for sending the Northern Army to wipe them out.
Perhaps if they, let's see. Your fellow going to start vote.
So I'm going to do start vote. I think we should send the Northern Army because it literally will stop the North from being able to
I agree. Maybe they'll have to rely more on faith if their military isn't so strong anymore.
They'll never worship your...
They said that, but...
All right. Oh, the North got a third person during the game, so they're going to be even stronger since they have the royal.
Yeah, that happened in the last.
They have the queen and they have the third person.
Yes.
But that still wasn't enough. Thanks to my defining royal vote, we're sending the Northern Army to wipe them out. Oh,
hover over you.
We need to hover over Rico. Oh, I'll do that next time. The resultant siege is long and fierce. The Ice Warriors don't need to eat or drink, so you can't starve them out. Instead, your northern troops attack the walls day after day, taking terrible losses. Finally, the walls fall. Your troops overrun the battlement. The aftermath, the Ice Warriors' melting shards litter the snow. Okay, I think the diplomacy could have been interesting too.
But it still shows a check mark next to military, so they still have it.
Oh, I guess because they needed 7 before the 4th turn. But I guess because they had it in time, even though it went down later. I guess. I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know.
When Rico shows up next, I will hover over him. Oh, it was 5 or more. Okay, well, that was really easy for them then. A horrible haunting. During a meeting with the council nobles, a commotion erupts as Grandee Rohit lets out a piercing scream, maybe because his money was taken. Upon my honor, egad, it's here, it's here! He faints away, falling to the ground with a crash. By the night God, someone fetch water. A servant runs for water and holds it to Rohit's mouth. I thought it'd be safe from it here, but alas, is he being haunted by the ghosts of the peasants he taxed out of existence? When we built that prison on my lands. Oh yeah, he spent all his money on a prison. Some matter of specter was disturbed and it's made me its target. It probably should have. You're the one who did that. Why would a ghost care about you? Are we really entertaining this nonsense? Says Chief Ada. I hear voices, your majesty, little pinpricks in the back of my mind, like how I saw a horrid gray shape hanging over me, its face of rotting mass. It's funny that this is the superstitious person. I thought you would believe in your faith. Chief Ada says, we're too old for campfire tales, Rohit.
I guess ghosts are part of our religion.
I guess they are.
Yeah.
I beg you, your majesty and gathered nobles, come to my aid. We must banish this wraith. Okay, our choices are, we can send an inquisitor to exercise the site, which has a... What does this say? A 50% chance based on faith to succeed. Oh, I guess their faith is so high, it actually might work. We can research the land on which the president is built, or ignore Rohit. It'll be fine. Okay, guys. I think that I don't really care what we do here. Although the Inquisitor seems like it might fail, which could cause serious problems. Which, you know, might lower faith if it fails. It's probably 50-50 to raise or lower faith, which is a gamble that those guys probably don't want to take. I think researching it might reveal some interesting information, so I'm going to put... I can't vote myself, so I'm just going to put this here. I don't really care about my authority. It's obviously very high. But it's possible that the purple faction wants to raise my authority, and I'm interested in researching, which I guess is also what purple people like to do. I think also that the yellow is not going to send an Inquisitor, probably because of the fact that that would have a 50% chance maybe to lower their faith if it doesn't work. And Rohit probably doesn't want to ignore his own situation.
Yes, let's figure out what's going on. All the blue ones are like...
The blue ones are like...
This is just nonsense, they say.
Yes, that's what they said. Their characters said in the game, too.
Yep.
Okay. We're researching the land on which the prison was built.
Hover over Rico, he said. You didn't do it.
No, I didn't hover over Rico. Man, I'll do it next time. Sorry. You summon the chief architect who nods thoughtfully when you explain the situation.
Authority is now oppressive.
The sort of thing is an occupational hazard when building on historical sites. Keep you on your toes, doesn't it? Let's see. Find out who or what the ghost is. Of course, Your Majesty, I'm sure it'll be easy enough to sort out. He hurries off to Quail University to delve through the records. You can only hope Rohit's troubles do not get worse in the meantime. I hope it doesn't. Alright, ending the season. I'll definitely mouse over Rico this time. Far to the north, where snow blankets the landscapes and wolves howl in the night, the chiefs plot to bring about the end of the world. Come on, you guys. The purple is the least evil scheme here. Ragnarok. Morgana has blessed us. The ice giant. Oh, wait, can I hover over him? No, maybe only in the votes. The ice giants have agreed to parley. The gods are good. With luck, this will be the foundation of an alliance strong enough to rock the world. Aye, the ice giants are a formidable ally. Tall as a building and limbs like tree trunks, and those southerners don't know how to fight them like we do. But first we must offer something the giants desire.
That's not what he's supposed to look like, he says.
Oh, that's why we need to hover over him. It might change what he looks like. First, we must offer something the giants desire. A whole kingdom's worth of pillage. Just what I was thinking. If we fill the kingdom with bountiful goods and plunder, the giants won't be able to resist. The next stage of the chief's scheme, they must raise other regions' trade, not their own, to a combined 12 or more. And it's only currently at 10. They need the other regions to be good at trading so they can offer to the giants that they'll conquer the not north and get all their trading. Your Majesty, these upstarts are saying they have a right to your throne. No doubt the nobles are already scheming to crown their region's preferred claimant.
Warning, the king monarch currently has no heir.
I know! I'm working on it! Oh no, the total faith is definitely at least 10, you guys. We need to work about this if we're not the South. Okay.
Yes, we need to increase it because we are the South.
The North has both a refugee crisis and food riots due to the fact that, what was the thing that caused all of their farms to be destroyed? Oh, when they assassinated that guy. Yeah. Of course they have that. Oh, the chief architect returns. Let's see what happened with Rohit's prison.
Back there said that back there says I think if you had chosen Lorelai, you would have had an heir.
Maybe, but it said also that she was incredibly shy, so she probably would have taken some time anyway to get to know the king. Your Majesty, I discovered something interesting about the land on which Grandee Rohit's haunted prison was built. What did you find? The ghost is actually Rohit's great-great-uncle Alvaro. He isn't haunting the building, he's haunting Rohit. My great-great-uncle's angry with me? I never even knew him. I can call up on Quella University for more information. God above! I don't need information, I just want this ghost gone. Okay, we could either have Rohit exercised again, 50% faith. We could spend money to continue researching, or we can ask Rohit to find out what the ghost wants, which lowers your faith. Okay, if you're not the South, you guys, I think we should ask Rohit to find out what the ghost wants. That will put them below the threshold for faith.
That's not what he wants to do.
I think we should
do that.
Rohit's
the one who's haunted here. I think we should let Rohit decide.
I think we should...
Says me, who is mentioned by this.
East and North, I think we should definitely, ask Rohit to find out what the ghost wants. That will protect us from their scheme's advancing, which is one of the only two schemes right now that is probably going to advance.
But that might take a while. You don't know. Like, if he's exercised successfully, then...
It's only 50-50. That may lower your faith, too. It says percent faith. It could go up or down depending on the exorcism. Researching him is just going to cost money. Anyway, I have picked that vote. Now I'm going to mouse over Rico. Where can I mouse over Rico?
You have to wait for Rico's vote to
There he is. I'm bouncing over.
Oh, like he wanted you to see the image, but the image wasn't updated yet.
Oh, okay. Maybe it'll only update for the next game. Linda chooses to exercise Rohit. Creative Burst chooses to research, and a lot of people agree that they want to. Blue and purple factions, for the most part, do want to find out what the ghost wants. Voting has closed. You want to talk to this ghost? What if it is a demonic spirit set for the seven hells to corrupt mortal minds? But the will of the council is absolute. Rohit hurries away to do as you say. Hopefully, great-great-uncle Alvaro will be as talkative as he is irascible. Faith is now only steadfast.
Uh-oh. Rohit, we need to raise the faith. We need to raise the faith.
Now only the purple have their goal ready. Okay, so guys, there's some serious issues here with the food riots and a refugee crisis at the border of the sovereignty.
Yeah, so. and Creative Burst points out purple, you don't want authority higher. It only benefits
No, Creative Burst, it benefits them because they need my...
What, 7 or something?
They need my authority to be like...
They know how much they need it to be.
5 or 6 or something.
They don't need it to be 9 or 10.
They don't need it to be 9.
5, says Beth Guy.
Yeah, they need it to be 5 so that I'll be arrogant enough to do that.
You don't need him to be an absolute tyrant here.
I didn't raise my authority. I only voted on that
I know. Because
food
authority
riots.
is very, very high.
Okay.
All right.
Your Majesty, the famine in the north grows worse by the day. Riots are breaking out in all the major townships from Skarma to Thormgard. Starving mobs are pillaging bakeries, granaries, and merchant houses. What are we to do? This is not good. We can spend almost all of our money to raise the farming bag up. We can order grain supplies to be diverted from the east. The east does have a lot of grain supplies, you guys. What is this hand thing? What is the hand? Trade.
Trade.
It lowers trade. It will make the East angry. It will lower their farming to raise the farming. Okay. I think that we would be successful at sending in the army to control the riots, but I think that diverting grain supplies from the East is probably the best option. And I don't like the looks of losing all of our money except 50 money. So I'm going to veto the one that loses all of our money except 50 money because that seems... Oh, and apparently buying up the surplus good from the counts is impossible because the chiefs don't have enough money to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to veto this because that would be catastrophic.
Yeah, and Rohit, yeah, I agree with you that we want to lower farming because they want farming to be. They want trade behind.
Oh no! Oh yeah, you can lower.
Blue wants high trade, so.
Blue wants high trade. So I suggest picking D. But if you pick A, that's not the end of the world. It has an 80% chance to succeed.
Yeah, Blue wants A, and I think
but
everybody
A
else
is
wants D.
so cruel to the northern people. Rico's sending an army to attack his own people. It's not even going to give you more farming, so it's going to keep... The crisis is going to continue. Rico has no heart for his own people, whereas Chief Ada does. Okay, there we go. Voting has closed.
Rico says we only negotiate with
Frost Giants. Apparently. Alright. How dare you take our goods from us without compensation? We had a very valuable trade deal in place. We planned to sell that grain to Saul for a steep profit. Now that's fallen through, and I've already paid for the cargo space. Count Gustavo's wealth has decreased to 0.
Trade is now struggling. Farming is now fruitful, which is a little lower, but Defiance is now mutinous.
Yes, they're mutinous. Uh-oh. Oh, shut up, Lackwit. My people are starving. Defiance can't go any lower in the north. They love me here. Immense quantity of... Oh, it only lost 1 for the east to give 3 to the north. Come on, guys. That was a good deal.
Well, if you didn't take care of the north
Once the peasants have bread again, the riot cease. There's enough to tide them over until the next harvest. Whew.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but there's still a refugee crisis because they didn't know that was going to happen.
Yes.
The north has experienced a terrible famine, Your Grace. A steady trickle of refugees have been pouring into the east. It's a terrible tragedy. They're looking for food and steady work, but finding neither. They've turned to begging. The streets of eastern cities are crowded with northern vagrants. Well, I'm sorry that my suffering people are clogging up the precious eastern streets. They need help, not judgment. Will the council give it? Alright. So, we can either distribute grain among the starving peasants of the east, which will cost most of our money, but will help our struggling stability or in the north. It will help North's farming. We could fund a militia to attack the refugees, which would raise my authority, but and lower stability. I really don't recommend that, but it's not like I can veto it. We could close the roads out of the north, which is also horrible to refugees, which lowers trade, which actually, ironically, hurts the north even more because of the frost giant. Actually, no, it would lower the north's trade, which they don't care about, and lower stability. Or the king personally hands out bread, but we don't have enough stability to hand out the bread successfully, so it won't work.
Yeah. Rohit, I agree.
You guys,
we don't want to lower stability further. A makes sense to me.
You guys, these options are tough, but it also will lower our treasury by a huge amount if we take option A. I'm not sure. I actually am kind of worried about everything. But I'm going to pick this one because if our treasury is going down, at least it can bring some authority with it. It's not because I necessarily want A more than the other ones, but because I want a silver lining if A happens. Whereas D is also an option. It doesn't... It looks like it doesn't automatically do something bad. It has a 40% chance to work. But I think that being so horrible to the refugees is kind of... Oh!
Oh, but D worked.
There we go. D worked. The king is personally going to hand out bread. Alright, we're trying it. We're trying it. Come on, 40% chance. Come on. You travel to... Oh, it failed. The biggest city in the east and spent an afternoon handing out loaves to northern refugees. Unfortunately, the starving peasants crowd around you with their hands outstretched. You're very vulnerable. They tear at your robes, wailing and pleading. Bread, give us more bread. Where are you hiding it? Your battle nuns leap in front with intense, silent grace. However, your honor guard prove a little too eager to protect you from the rabble. They wait until the peasants swing their weapons cheerfully, and the resulting slaughter will cause nightmares for life. That's horrible. The Root Guard massacres, it becomes known, attract condemnation for both counts and chiefs alike. In the resulting uproar, you're forced to sack your honor guard. You guys are horrible, southern nuns. That was the worst. We definitely should have bankrupted ourselves.
We didn't vote for that one. The nuns eventually had to protect your life, and then you just sacked them.
But yeah, but they went wild. It said that they were just in their glee for killing. They just killed all of the refugees.
You're just describing motivations to them. You couldn't see their face beneath their iron mask.
All right, it's auction time, everybody. So let's take a look. We can either get farming in the north, which is actually okay now.
Well, Rohit, we're both completely bankrupt thanks to the
military in the north.
Thanks to the completely unfair requirement that you not tax people.
We can lower farming in the east. Why would we do that? I guess you guys could. You could raise authority with a monument. Mm-hmm. You can raise trade in the... ironically, the north wants to build a Grand Bazaar in the south so that the ice giants could steal it.
What's going to happen is what blue team wants to happen. Because the Chiefs have so much more money than
the Chiefs have all the money. They can just make sure that the cathedral doesn't get built and that the Grand Bazaar and just some random thing that they like Aqueduct or Fortress gets built. For cheap. Even at most, they would have to spend $300 to do that. That's assuming Mad Guy Dave bankrupts himself randomly building something that the Chiefs care to stop. Which he probably won't. So the Chiefs can just spend a small amount of money to just get whatever they want, which is probably the Grand Bazaar, which will help them.
And the Fortress, because they like
and the Fortress or the Aqueduct, because they like military, but their farming has been doing badly. Mm-hmm. It's so cheap. Remember how high the auction was last time?
Yeah, now they've paid enough that nobody can do anything.
Yeah, they've paid enough that it's impossible for Mad Guy Dave to take control of the board.
Oh, they're wasting money amongst themselves.
Yes.
Or no, wait.
Just a little bit. One of them kind of wanted an aqueduct after their refugee crisis.
I think money is gained just through events.
Yeah, or by taxation. During the tax phase, you'll all get money.
Oh, right, there was a tax phase. Okay.
Although the yellow got less to begin with because of the fact that they were doing great, and so...
and then you charge more from us.
Look, I'm not going to do that this time.
Now.
I'm not going to do that this time. Okay.
You faithless cur.
Okay, time's up. Okay. The buildings were funded. The Grand Bazaar and the Fortress. Just as the North wanted. Mm-hmm. The Northern Powerhouse. Okay, here we are. About your heir. Come on, heir. Your marriage to Heth has grown stale. Oh, you get along well enough, and you've made some good memories together, but there's no spark. She cares more about her stupid books than your happiness, but spark or no spark, you still need an heir. Congratulations are in order. The royal wedding was a magnificent affair. I'm very happy, thank you. Your happiness is important. It's fulfilling your duty to the kingdom. I'm glad you found a way to have both. You've done well so far. Something's still missing. An heir. You need someone young whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do the trick, even if they're a bastard, or the youngest of your many cousins. Let's see.
My wife and I will have a child together. I'm pretty sure I have a bastard child lying around somewhere. I'll make my youngest cousin my heir, or I plan to adopt a lowborn child from the orphanage.
Yes. Maybe my wife and I will have a child together. Just because she loves her books doesn't mean that we can't have a child together somehow. The traditional method. No one will object to that. I'll arrange for you to take a month off from ruling so you can get down to business. Let's see if that works or not. Meanwhile...
There's a deathly request and silver discovered.
Uh-oh. Is the deadly request the ghost's request? I'm kind of curious about what's happening with Rohit's great-great-uncle's ghost. A noble's here to see you, Your Majesty. He says a delicate matter. Oh, no, it's not. It's Rohit, though. Again, Rohit is constantly causing issues. Alas, I'm not merely here for a social call. Sat down to speak. Oh, no, he is. I'm here to speak with my great-great-uncle Alvaro, and I finally understand what he wants from me. In his youth, he was quite the rake, and he was having an affair with none other than Ada's great-great-grandmother. He told me that his most passionate letters are hidden somewhere in their longhouse. They must be destroyed for the sake of my family's reputation. That's why he was haranguing you all this time? Indeed so, Your Holiness. My grandfather always said Alvaro was very bad-tempered. I suppose that hasn't changed. The trouble is, Ada refuses to let me anywhere near their longhouse, and I dare not mention the reason, or they'll tell everyone and embarrass my family. Heth says, I could pay a visit to Ada on some pretext. I'm sure I could unearth those letters. Rohit says, Your Majesty, I beg you, please tell Ada to throw open their doors so I can lay the scandal to rest. Alright, our options are to have my wife do it, to tell the truth to Ada, or to appease your ancestors some other way. Okay. Ada, I feel like you need to know the truth.
No, that would lower faith.
You need to know the truth, Ada. It's the only way. But Your Highness, I beg you to keep quiet. You summon Ada and explain the truth of their ancestors' affair with great-great-uncle Alvaro. Acts of my ancestors! No wonder my great-great-grandmother's marriage ended in ignominy. That Alvaro was a homewrecker. Still, I appreciate your majesty's candor. It's good that some people speak honestly these days. Soon, great-great-uncle Alvaro is the talk of the North. An enterprising bardic troupe even performs a play poking fun at centuries-old scandal. It proves popular. Trade is up. Trade is up in the North, but it's down in the South, which actually hurts the North, weirdly. Rohit is driven to just such distraction by the ghost. His loses lands entirely for a holiday, neglecting his holdings in markets. Meanwhile, the church loses its foothold in the South. Great-great-uncle Alvaro continues to rampage around the prison, causing trouble for all who venture near. Oh, no.
Rohit, we're gonna have trouble overthrowing him now that he's sabotaged faith.
Silver discovered. Excellent news from the east, your highness. Prospectors have discovered its deposits of silver on my land. Mining will begin. Rohit, the Greedmeister, says, wait.
You can't call us Greedmeister. We're literally bankrupt.
I'm sure he's trying to get the money for himself.
Yes,
Let's see what happens.
We need the money.
Yeah, I think Gustavo also has 0.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Grandee Rohit waves an ancient parchment. This silver belongs to me! The deposit is on our side of the border, and this scroll proves it! Treasurer, this could get nasty, your majesty.
This is broken the east as well, yeah.
The border between the east and the south has always been highly contested. Uh-oh. Okay, so the choices are the east owns the silver, they claimed it first. The south is entitled to the land, they have some paper that says so. Or both regions should share the silver deposit, raising stability, but also making, I guess, both of them unhappy. You guys, I feel like the region sharing it is the most fair, but also I guess they're both going to get really angry.
Unless you pick one of the sides, and then that side won't get angry with you.
I'm kind of worried about them getting too angry, though, so I'm going to say let's have them share. Let's have them share, guys. Let's go. I think that's the most fair because, but definitely...
I believe in Rohit's
paper. Rohit's paper seems really sus. Well, the South agrees that the South should have it. Uh-oh, it's a tie. What does that mean?
What happens if there's a tie? Voting tied at 3.
Oh, I can break the tie. Both regions shall share. Count Gustavo and Grandee Rohit exchange wary glances.
Your authority is now tyrannical.
As they shake hands, their smiles are very tight.
First makes a good point that your authority is, like, tyrannical. That's too authoritarian.
I needed the authority because all of these are going up, because if these numbers get higher than my authority, then the East is going to rebel. If you had taken the things, they would have gone up to possibly 9, and I wouldn't have gone up to 10, and they would have rebelled. Is that what you want?
Oh, right, no, that would be a problem. Okay.
There you go.
So...
End season. Okay. Back in the north, Chief Rico is hosting yet another feast at his clan hall. Not everyone is in the mood for celebrating, however. No developments, I'm afraid. The Giants aren't willing to commit, not yet anyway, because of the bad trade in the other regions. What's the problem? They leave their brains in the ice caves again, or are they too scared to take on a measly king? Nay, not enough plunder. We must make the other regions bigger, juicier targets. Chief's aim is to raise other regions' combined trade to 12 or more.
It's a reminder of that aim.
Yes. Well, they didn't meet it at the first possible moment. The southern plot has slowed to a crawl. 2 grandees wade through the water gardens of a sprawling villa, one gesturing angrily at the air as a number of flamingos look on.
The king is clearly working against us, says Rohit. I wouldn't put it past the other regions either. They must know what we're up to.
Yes, we do.
What does it matter? We have the power of the ninth god on our side.
Do you? You guys made it to 4 religion.
We'll need more than that. Don't blaspheme. Soon the church will be all-powerful, and we will be its champions.
The grandees want combined faith 10 or more, which is normally not that hard, but... Okay, guys. So, I think that, weirdly, despite the fact that their farming went down from their own assassination plot, we forced the East to give up all that farming back to the North, and then Also, the North kind of got a huge trade development from the South.
Creative Burst is proposing an alliance against Purple. It depends. I heard some declarations from your side that you were never willing to accept faith. Are you willing to open your hearts to the Ninth God? If so, we can perhaps come to an arrangement.
Then, guys, the North has way more than twice as much money than all of everyone else combined, so I'm putting more of a tax on the North.
No, the North is saying perhaps some of them might be our allies. So.
Well, they also love me over there, so it doesn't matter. They're still only aloof. The North is not going to rebel from that, and they already are super rich because we gave them money like 50 times. They're still richer than everybody else. All right, here we go. So our choices are Prying Eyes, Winter Chill, or the Silver. Oh, well, let's see what's going on with Prying Eyes. That seems sus. Your Majesty, you are of course the greatest king of this century, says Math Guy Dave. Is there something you're after? Your Majesty, I seek only to tell you the truth as I see plain, but your power could be even greater. Death comes for us all. But what if it didn't have to? What if you could be the greatest king for all millennia? What are you saying? Simply that there are opportunities for your reign beyond what you may have imagined, Your Highness, and I believe you are strong enough to take them. I can arrange more meetings, so we need to discuss this further. The door bursts open. So he got
you first, no matter,
says the High Inquisitor.
The Counts have agents everywhere, and they've been building up your strength, but there's something more sinister afoot. Their ultimate aim is to recruit you into a cult of immortal blood drinkers.
Oh, what a tale! All we want is to help the king. Is this true? Of course not!
This is heresy of the highest order. The council must know.
Okay, guys. So, you can either force me to officially refuse to join this cult, or prevent the counts from seeking private audiences with the king, which delays their scheme for a single season. Or you can leave the counts to their business. So you can either make them slow down, or you can lower my authority, but I don't think it's going to be enough to actually... But maybe it breaks the scheme, if because their scheme is to have me join the cult. I don't know. I'm not sure. Here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm really going to leave it up to you. I am putting my iron choice, which raises my authority, on the one that lowers my authority, so that I will get neutral. I'm leaving it up to the regions. Make your own choice. Obviously, the counts want me to be left to their business, so they're probably going to vote for that.
I think for faith reasons, we want him to reject.
So I picked plus authority on the minus authority one, so I'll get neutral no matter what you do here. So I'm really leaving it up to my nobles. If you want to delay the counts,
and the counts are like, leave us alone.
Yes, if you want to delay the counts versus just force me to not join it, I wonder if it will screw up their scheme if I don't join it, or just lowers authority, which won't screw up their scheme because my authority is so high.
Well, we'll lower and raise, so yeah.
Yes. Well, it probably lowers it by more than one.
Yeah, right.
But we'll see. Alright, I'm going to officially refuse to join the cult. The nobles leave you no choice. Oh, man! It goes up before it goes down, and it was already at the maximum. I signed a statement saying I'm not interested in immortality. Not one bit. Alright. Well, now I know that it can't go up. I should have saved that and used it afterwards. But, alright, the silver. No silver. Count Gustavo and Grandee Rohit arrive in the council chamber side by side. This is the third week in a row with no silver. Why are the miners spending all their time playing this rockball sport anyway? Save and take us, it was your miners who invented rockball. I can't doubt that Eastern workers are competitive.
It's a disaster. Even the miners who haven't broken their arms aren't getting any mining done. What the heck, Rohit? You should stop being so openly greedy.
Okay, we can ban rockball, which actually is a 90% chance. It would have been 100 if we didn't just do that other thing. Or we can build a fence to divide the mining camps, which apparently loses like our kingdom's entire treasury while raising stability, trade, and like I guess the rockball money. Or we can try to hold a tournament, but it has apparently it's likely to cause riots that will cause a huge massacre, which we probably don't want. I'm going to I don't really like a lot of these. Oh, wow, 25 people are raiding. Hi, Thrifty Tokens.
folks who are coming and joining us, you are welcome to come in and join this game. If you go to kotc.app on any device, you can join into one of the factions.
It's a huge court is coming. All right, I don't want us to lose all of our money, guys, so I'm going to veto building a fence. I suggest banning it because there's only a 40% chance that the tournament's not going to be riots of killing people, or maybe that's not what it is, but I'm just really worried
I think we should definitely, ban it for sure, because, like, then we can get more money. Mark vetoes everything I want to do.
Oh, so everyone who just raided, we're using the thing where you go on to the KOTC
app on any of your devices,
and then put in room code BCBA rather than the one that's in chat.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to KOTC.app and put in BCBA, you'll be able to join on your device or your computer. They invented Rock Ball, and now they want to ban it. It looks like a lot of people want to host the tournament.
Even though that's really dangerous.
Watch there be a riot. The first annual Rock Ball Cup is a smashing... Hey, you did it! Good work, everybody! It made everybody happy now. That's good that they're happy in the regions that were very mutinous. The Eastern Geodes won over the Southern Moles.
Oh no, the Eastern
Count
Geodes
Gustavo
won.
sits proudly with the filthy competitors as they hoist the gleaming silver trophy. The Aftermath silver production reaches new heights with profits shared equally between the regions.
Oh,
you guys got extra wealth.
Well, we just wasn't going to take that
and
risk.
The trade is... Wait, actually, it's good for the North, too, because their trade is almost enough for the Giants to attack.
But the South really needs to get more faith going on. So Mark is playing the King, and I am in the Southern faction.
Guys, who are not the North, we need to lower your own trade if you're not the North, because the Giants are going to attack you. Now that happened, it's close to 12. I think it needs to be 12. Count Gustavo says, "Brr, the eastern winter has been especially cruel this year, your majesty. I can still feel it in my bones." Rico says, "Ha, you counts don't know the meaning of the word cold. Your grace, this is no joke." Let's see. I found the secret is layers. It's not just about me. In the east, the river's frozen and people won't work for fear of frostbite. My butler touched an iron fence post and lost his entire finger. So we can either send food to build eastern stockpiles, which will cost us a lot of money, but lower the defiance in the east and raise their farming. We can send northern troops to clear the ice and snow. We can order the chiefs to send any surplus food, which there's not a good chance of succeeding because they don't have a lot of surplus food. They lost all their food previously. Or we can just leave the counts to deal with it. Okay, I vote for the northern troops. They're the strongest in... the kingdom, so surely they'll be able to clear the ice and snow with an 80% chance. That's what I think we should do. They've got a good chance to clear the ice and snow.
Oh wait, votes are going into it somehow. It says more than that. So maybe, I think
they're working! The Twitch thing is working, you guys. I'm not sure how, because we didn't define Twitch.
But we didn't link it. Or maybe it's just...
No, I think it is. One of them is my vote, though.
Oh, maybe. One of them is yours.
Oh, wait, no. And Gustavo's has doubled
now
because he's alone.
Of the,
2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody voted for the northern troops.
Yes.
All right, let's see what happens. Oh, it looks like also some of the new people left because we didn't do it the Twitch way. We did it in the app way. Nobles in the mock voted for send northern troops to clear snow and ice. Northern mercenary arrived and successfully raised the snow and ice, although they don't like that they had to do it, so they become a little grumbly. They clear vast swaths of snow and ice with shovels and pickaxes. The air is still chilly. The eastern peasants quickly grow more confident and leave their home.
That gets the trade that they needed, though.
The North got the trade they wanted. Now, the North's like, anything for a neighbor, but now the frost giants will attack. Soon merchants can come and go more easily. Markets set up again, and citizens waddle from stall to stall, wrapped in jute fur.
Need more faith.
The east is well on their way to recovery. Uh-oh. I didn't expect that, but that's what happened. March of the Giants back in the north. Chief Rico is hosting another feast at his clan hall. Mead is being passed around in good measure, and some chiefs are dancing on the tables. That can only mean two things: really good news or really bad news. Creative burst, pass me the drink, you old lout. I'm drinking until my ancestors feel it. Were those ice giants I saw on my way through your lands? Have we really done it? Your eyes don't deceive you, lad. They'll be marching with us come the morrow. The gods are good, but what happens after the ice giants march? Acts of my ancestors, I hadn't thought about that. Someone fetched me another drink, then assembled the other chiefs. Quickly, damn you! Voting is open for the chiefs. If you let the Ice Giants fight alone and then swoop in to save the kingdom at the last time, then you need to lower authority. Or you march with the Giants and destroy the kingdom, and your goal is to lower stability. The Northerners have decided to lower authority. Voting has closed. They're going to try to lower authority. Devious. Brilliantly so. Why, it's almost dishonorable. Don't get too excited. The king must be too weak to mount a response. If all the regions unite, the Giants could be thrown back into the north with ease. Oh god, can't a man enjoy his drink without being warned about consequences or plans for 5 minutes? For the final stage of their scheme, the chiefs must lower authority to 5 or less. At least one region has entered the final stage of their scheme. If they pass it, they'll win the game. There are some exceptions. If 2 or more finish the scheme, the winner will be decided at random. If stability, authority, or treasury hits 0 and a scheme passes, the scheme wins. If a rebellion ends with a rebellion win and the scheme passes, the scheme wins. The monarch can only win on ambition events which only happen with an heir. While playing a game of chess in an austere castle, 2 counts of the east discuss their schemes against the crown. Most pleasing! The king is drunk with power. He's mandated statues of himself be built in every major city. Our sculptors are doing well, I hear. Trade is now prosperous. Better still, it means the time is ripe. But I was thinking, should we really show the king the true secrets of our group? I thought that was the point. Immortality and all that. Yes, but those secrets are meant to be, well, kept secret. What if we pulled the wool over his eyes? They can plan a false immortality ritual for the king that will kill him by lowering their own defiance, or induct the king into their real secret society of immortal blood drinkers by raising their farming. Oh, they have very high farming, whereas their defiance is kind of hard to lower. It sounds like they're going to induct me
into the real secret society of immortal blood drinkers.
I mean, that's better than being decapitated. All right, you guys. Thanks for not being as evil as you possibly could be. Very well, we must prepare the ritual. Yes, I'll begin appeasing the spirits of the soil, but first we must enrich our lands. By Zenya's ashes, it won't be long now. For the final stage, they must get their farming up to 8, and then they win. Oh, they're close to that, you guys. Ooh. That could happen in like a random thing. Alright, by royal decree, we can tweak our laws governing how the council votes. We can call for unity, which causes +1 stability if more than 50% of nobles vote for any option. Stop the count, which there's less time. I mean, I'm okay with these. That's probably fine.
Alright. Spring 950 begins.
Alright, let's see what's going on with this wandering bard. Your Majesty, a traveling bard. She says she has come to compose a song for you. Not just any bard, Your Highness. The best in all the land, Sally. 6 Fingers, they call me. A song, you say, about me? Why, of course. In fact, I have the tune and verse all but ready. I have saved my best work for you, my king. All I require is a subject. What should I tell the masses of you? What should you like to inspire? Let's see. Teach them to love me. I will do so, Your Highness. Absolutely. Give me but a few weeks. Everyone within the Crown Lands will know of your benevolence. Pray, I need only a small payment of 500 gold. A discounted rate. That's 50-50. Versus 70% chance with 1,000. Our treasury is not in the greatest. I'll just pay for the 50-50. Song has the desired effect with everyone praising your good nature. Whew, our stability is not going to collapse. I already have enough authority.
There's a peasant uprising in the south and horror in the east.
This is not good, you guys. Let's see what's in the east.
Your Highness, a monster has been stalking my farms at night, smashing down the doors of cottages and feasting on the peasants inside, says Countess Rihanna.
How many victims? Dozens, Your Grace. Only a few have survived the attacks.
The survivors tell a garbled story about gleaming fangs amid a mountain of blood-soaked fur.
Is it a werewolf? Okay, we could send the Count's lousy military to fight the werewolf, which they will probably lose. We can offer a bounty on the monster so that the adventurers come and deal with it. Or we can just let the werewolf kill everything. Which will lower their farming. And I raised our stability a little bit. It'll lower their farming so that they won't be able to do their vampire farming ritual. Okay. Guys, I think that that any of these could be good, but
Rohit's thinking C. I think C.
I'm gonna pick this is no concern of ours with my iron choice, so I'll at least get some authority if we lose some stability. Here you go. Take your vote.
Oh, you've caused that now to be beneficial for... Yeah, now that it's lower... Now that it raises authority, it's bad for both. It's... Rico, you... Yeah. It's bad for both, both other factions that aren't yellow. And
That's correct.
So it's definitely what yellow wants to vote for.
Yes, and Rico decided to do it anyway to, instead of helping himself, he wanted to
sabotage the stability
Purple,
of the other
Purple
one, yeah.
was a lot closer to their goal. Oh no, he just wasn't paying enough
yeah.
attention before he clicked.
But the fact that he added the authority to the scale.
The monster continues to menace the east, growing more bold every day. You hear reports that it is no longer confines its attacks to nighttime. Soon peasants are too afraid to tend their crops, which lie rotting in the fields. Oh, it only lowered their farm by 1. Alright, there's a peasant uprising down here. Why? Why? Their region's fine. All of their stats are good. A band of peasants has staged an uprising in the south, Your Highness. Is it because of your taxes, Rohit? In the dead of night, they stormed the castle of my good friend Grandee Linda. She and her family are currently languishing in her own dungeons.
Oh, I did something this time.
What caused the peasants to rebel? Oh, the usual complaints. The peasants accused Grandee Linda of being too strict in enforcing the Ninth God's doctrine.
Yeah, I'm the religious.
As if such a thing were even possible. How were the peasants able to take the castle? They bribed some of the guards. They also seem to have brand new, well-forged weapons, pikes and swords mostly. I have no idea where they found that money. What are the peasants' demands? They want Grandee Linda to be stripped of her assets with her lands divided among the peasantry. In return, the rabble will free her and spare her life. Okay, we can either attack the castle, 50-50 chance. We can give the peasants what they want. Or we can pretend to accept the demands, then kill the peasants when they leave the castle. Alright, well, we have to save Linda. I think we should give the peasants what they want, even though it lowers my authority. Although it will raise Linda's defiance because she'll be angry that we saved her life. I don't know, but it's gonna happen. Anyway, yeah, I don't like killing the peasants, but also just, like, I'm not gonna weigh in on this one. I'll let you guys vote for it. I think we should give them what they want, but not enough to actually use my vote for it, because the third one might wind up being more dangerous. Linda says, kill those. Kill
They're
those bastards.
They're holding my family hostage. I don't think they should be allowed to survive this.
No wonder the South's defiance is going down. If we do that. All the South has been voting for it. Okay. Here we go. So it looks like the South all wants to kill their own peasants, and everybody else does not want to kill their peasants.
It's not all the peasants. It's just the peasants that are holding my family hostage.
Yeah, but it's like a lot of the peasants in your territory. Predictably, the decision to grant the peasants what they want is met with consternation and outrage by the Grandees. Uh-oh, that made them really angry.
Yes.
They're up to 9. I think if they go up again, they could actually do a rebellion. They are monsters. They've taken a fortress by force, and you want to give in to their demands? As promised, Grandee Linda is stripped of her property, and her extensive lands are split between the peasantry. Linda loses all of her money. Ha ha ha. Alright.
You're so mean to me.
Your Majesty, these upstarts are saying they have a right to your throne. Okay, yeah, these two are really dangerous, whereas the South is not in good shape. Alright, I better be nice to the South soon. Oh, right. My heir! I have an heir, maybe. Your quest for an heir is finally complete. You stand before the council holding a small child in your arms. Should I die? Ask my crown be passed down to...
South will rise again, yes.
I'll just say, my daughter. The assembled nobles break out into polite applause. By designating as an heir, you cemented the stability of the kingdom. Your Majesty, may I be the first to congratulate you on the birth of your daughter. What is her name? My only says Mark the Second? I don't have any choices other than that? What the heck?
I think it's because you're... Yes.
How delightful, Your Majesty. I'm sure little Mark the Second will grow up to be a strip off the old plot.
Maybe because you're such an egomaniac.
Yeah, I guess so. Congratulations on fighting an heir. Now you just need to fulfill your ambition to win the game. Expect a visit from the Spy Master soon.
You just learned Mark is a bottle thumper. Yes.
What the heck? Alright, anyway, let's get a new honor guard because the nuns murdered everybody. An excitable honor guard who slaughtered all those peasants will no doubt find justice, Your Majesty. We must move on. We must replace them at once. Okay. The Grandees offer the fiercest battle nuns. Okay. Of course, since your previous honor guard was Southern battle nuns who slaughtered all those peasants, we'll have to look elsewhere for replacements.
Full name Marky, yes.
Okay. Maybe those Eastern Knights. I'm worried that the Northern Warriors are going to do their Valhalla plan where they pretend to protect me and actually kill me. The Order of the Drum Rose are highly respectable. They'll understand palace etiquette. They mostly write poems. Actually, you know what? Wait. If I don't... If I pick something else, I think the South might wind up going to rebellion. They're gonna pretend to protect me, but sweep in at the last minute.
That's different.
That's different, says Rico. I'm worried that since it says defiance up and down, that if any defiance goes up in the South, that it's going to mean that the Grandees might go into rebellion. But they don't. Actually, their military is really crappy, so it doesn't really matter. Whatever. I'm going to trust the I'm going to trust the Eastern Knights this time.
Oh, it only affected them.
Oh, it only affected them because the Grandees didn't have an option.
Yeah.
Okay. The Knights arrive a few weeks later. They're extremely pale and extremely polite. The commander introduces herself with a florid bow before reading out a poem she's written for the occasion. Okay. What do we got down here? A new contraption. Your Majesty, a grandee by the name of Linda wants to prevent you with a new invention.
Your Holiness, we are entering a modern age, more humane age, yet botched executions are commonplace. Decapitations where the head doesn't come off, or hangings where it does. No more. Behold, a merciful machine for removing heads quickly and painlessly. I call it the Linda. What the heck?
Linda swishes away a cloth to reveal a huge machine of iron and wood with a hole for someone to place their head and a heavy blade dangling ominously above it. The sight sends a chill down your spine. You want to name this horrible thing after yourself?
Why not? This is a machine of mercy. With a little funding, Your Majesty, I can distribute the Linda across the kingdom.
Fine, but we're not calling it the Linda. Very well.
Very well. I suppose we can call it the Decapitator. Okay, what the heck with my
Okay, so our choices are we can test it on Grandee Linda herself, which will lower stability and raise defiance of Linda and make her lose all her money and raise stability. But I think that would potentially allow Linda's place to go into a rebellion. Or we could just ban it to raise stability. Or we can pay money to help research Linda's thing, which will give Linda money, raise authority, and will raise this thing. Trade. It will raise trade. Okay, so I think
it's my idea, so I clearly agree with it.
I think we want C, you guys. I don't think we want Linda to go into rebellion or to give Linda $1 million money. That also.
But since you made that a Monarch's Iron choice, now the
they
disincentivized.
all raise my authority.
Oh, I see.
And some of them may raise my authority more than one.
Oh, right, yeah.
Although one isn't the maximum amount, so they all raise my authority.
I appreciate your support, Rohit, for the Linda.
Rohit no, it's the Decapitator. It got changed.
I'm still going to call it the Linda, even if
the East hasn't decided what they wanted to do yet. Linda, you're lucky nobody wanted to decapitate you. Okay, the East just didn't vote this time. Oh no, they did at the end.
They
banned this horrid contraption. Linda, this is horrific. Nobody wants this.
It's a more merciful way to decapitate. If that's what the council wishes, Your Majesty. But there's a rebellion, and it takes 4 chops to... If there's a rebellion, and it takes 4 chops to sever your neck, don't come crying to me.
That's fine. We're super stable now, you guys.
If there's a rebellion, I say.
Linda. Okay, we've got an auction here. Uh-oh, you guys. This could be a problem if the auction allowed... Oh, no, you guys. You don't want the counts to be able to build their farm, or they may win the game... I mean, not immediately, but you don't want them to get their farming up.
Come now, we require more faith.
Also, the Chiefs could build a theater to mock me in place to lower my authority, which will help them somewhat, but it's not going to get them that far. So, you can see,
I don't have any money because everything was taken from me when you decided that the peasants should have all my resources.
How did Rohit end up with that much money? We took, like, all of his money.
You took all of my money just
Okay.
now. And then
No, but we took all his money earlier.
He got it for taxation and stuff.
Okay. Anyway, let's start an auction, because South is going to want to build their faith, but they're behind on their thing, so it's not as dangerous as the Counts getting their aqueduct. Let's see what people vote for. Obviously, the theater, the aqueduct, and the cathedral are the ones that actually do something towards your schemes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It looks like the cathedral's ahead. Oh, the aqueduct.
Oh, the aqueduct's getting poured. I can't do anything. I don't have any money.
That's getting a lot poured in.
Come on, cathedral. You proposed the assistance, didn't you not?
The aqueduct is now impossible to beat out. But the cathedral could beat the theater depending on what. Okay.
Rohit put all in on that.
The South is now bankrupt. Will the North spend enough to go to 1,300 and build the theater anyway? Oh, the North is now basically bankrupt too, except for Creative Burst. And the
we
East
just didn't have enough money.
The East has enough money to keep going. Oh, Math Guy Dave rejoined and now is part of Yellow. That's because Rihanna joined the East, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It gave you loads of money to help Team Purple. There you go.
Betrayal! Betrayal! What are we supposed to do if someone is on our team who won't help with us?
There you go. All right, here we go. My ambition. My ambition. The start of your reign, you said you wanted to be the greatest king who ever lived. You're well on track to achieve that aim, your majesty. Lowering defiance. But to shut down your noble scheming for good, we need to build on that reputation. Your advisors have some ideas. We could crush the disloyal nobles, smash their armies, and force them to submit. On the other hand, your majesty, if you help us spread the zeal of the ninth god, the church will lend our full support.
With the backing of the church, the nobles won't dare move against you.
Let's do authority and military. A wise decision, your majesty. I'll begin putting together my plan. But of course, it won't be easy. Your priority is to raise your authority in the kingdom's overall military as much as you can. And of course, there can't be an open rebellion among the nobles. Okay. I'm gonna do it. I have good authority. Oh no, there's agricultural concerns?
Oh, I see. Matt Guy said that the recital's about to start, so that was kind of like joining in on the Count's side.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Countess Rihanna says, remember when I came to you with word of a monster preying upon peasants in the east? It's difficult to forget. I have reason to believe the culprit may be one of my fellow counts, Count Gustavo, to be precise. The peasants believe Count Gustavo transforms into a colossal bloodthirsty beast once every 7 nights. Do we know something like this ever happening before? Only in legend, King Karvek II was said to turn into such a beast and slaughter his servants at night. In the day, he was as mild-mannered as a baby duck and had no memory of his crimes. Perhaps the same is true here. What should I do? Pray do not call a public vote on the matter. It would embarrass Count Gustavo greatly for no good reason. Let's see. We can have no. The matter should be put to vote. Absolutely not. I shall arrest Count Gustavo at once. I'll send a team of inquisitors to investigate these crimes or claims, or I'll send a message to Count Gustavo asking him to control himself. I don't think he can control himself. We have to put this matter to vote. Sorry, Gustavo. I just don't trust you to control yourself. Council is, of course, shocked at the revelation Count Gustavo is responsible for the horrors of the East. Infamy! Libel! I am innocent!
Well, if you're truly innocent, then the team of inquisitors will prove your innocence.
Oh, it looks like the council can only do the 3 things I could have done to begin with. So, I guess, you know what? The faith is so low that I don't think that the South is actually dangerous at all with these inquisitors. This may actually work. Whereas just having Gustavo control himself when the history said that the old king couldn't do it and didn't even know it was happening.
Now you're gonna make all of the.
No, I didn't add authority to that. I only put my own vote on the top one, I think. Or
no,
did
you
I?
did Iron
Choice.
I
did
Iron
Choice.
To it, so now the Blues can't vote for it.
Oh, fair enough. I picked the wrong one. I meant to pick Monarch's Choice. Oh well. Well,
Yellow wants to depose you even more for that failure.
What? No, Purple wants to depose me even more.
No, I'm saying out of character because you did not.
No, wait. Yellow does want to depose me even more. Your Holiness, we cannot allow this dangerous beast to live.
We place it all at risk.
I didn't vote for that one. Quiet fool. Count Gustavo may be a monster, but he still has noble blood like you or I. A few days later, ironically, Yellow actually did vote for the one that I wanted, and the people...
Yeah, but by virtue of putting authority on it, you made sure they would vote for it.
A few days later, you hear word the monster's attacks have ceased. Count Gustavo apparently has taken to locking himself up at night. Oh, it actually worked. It worked, you guys. This is like the one time it actually worked.
All right, there's an agricultural concerns in the capital area.
Your Majesty, there's a particular forest in the east that nobody's allowed to enter because it's owned by the king. If we cleared it, it could provide a valuable pasture for our crops. Right now, it serves no purpose.
Gustavo says, I'm totally fine.
Those are my trees. Hands off. By the blood of the dead, your grace. You didn't know those trees existed until 5 minutes ago. I petitioned the council to transfer ownership. Nothing personal. You guys, we cannot give ownership of the forest to Countess Rihanna. It will raise the farming in the count's region and they will win. I'm vetoing that. Those are my trees. I just said that they were my trees. Alright, I think that the King's Wood should remain the property of the king. I'm worried if you pick the one that has nothing, it will still give them farming, even though it doesn't say that it will.
The King's Wood should remain property of the king, even as he has proven faithless on many
Yeah, you guys, I'm worried it will still give them farming on her buying the land. Alright, let's see. Blood and stars. When would you ever visit the stupid place, your highness? You barely leave the palace. We avoided a landmine on that one. Okay, trade options. Okay, you guys. What's going on here? Everybody has about an equal amount of money. I don't think anybody needs extra taxes this time. It would help the kingdom's treasury.
You could give us less taxes. We would be less defiant of you in that case.
Yeah, but we would lose money. We lose 700 instead of gaining 100. I don't think we can afford that.
Ski.
Let's just confirm the tax.
Rico thinks that Rohit has too much money.
Yes, but Rico, if we tax the yellow more, it's going to cause them to be able to start a rebellion. So I'm not going to do it.
Rohit says to raise it on the Chiefs.
I was considering it, but because they're about to make a Valhalla, but I decided not to.
A vanity project. That sounds like you.
Okay. The chief architect bustles into your office carrying an armful of parchment. Statues can be torn down. Paintings can be burned. Don't you think it's time to leave a lasting mark on the kingdom? I propose we carve your majesty's vision into the side of a mountain. It will take dozens of artists and thousands of hours, but will ensure you're always remembered. It does sound pleasing. You call a vote to discuss this outrageous plan. A mountain site covering your legs will surely get people talking. It will take time and a lot of gold. Oh, it takes like all of our money. Unless the nobles fund it. Okay. I'm going to, if I veto the nobles funding it, or if I veto go ahead with the project, it will be a wonder of the world, then there might be a situation where the East is somehow able to just win. Whatever. I'm going to veto, us paying for it, so you guys can decide whether you want to fund it or not. I'm guessing I'm not going to get my statue, and that's okay.
This is an idea best left forgotten. I'm not going to pay that much money.
That's fine. Chief Architect sighs in disappointment. Oh well, I suppose I'll have to focus my work elsewhere. Raising trade everywhere. The trading up enterprising architects and builders across the kingdom, sharing his knowledge. Many of the nobles make use of their expertise to renovate their estates.
But nobody has a trade-based goal, so it was safe to do that.
Okay, rebellion tyranny.
Finally something we can agree on.
You've done some redecorating in the throne room, anticipating your future as an iron-fisted tyrant. When the marshal walks in, she whistles appreciatively. I like what you've done with the place. Lots of chains and spikes. Is that a working Iron Maiden? Had it shipped from Tavalin. Very nice. I didn't even know they still made these, but that's nothing. You pull lever on the throne, a trapdoor opens to the marshal's left. Beneath it is a pit of writhing snakes. Deadly, of course. Classic. Let them try to vote against you now. I've been surveying the troops across the kingdom. They're a complete mess. Ah, if we had succeeded, that might have been good. Barely know how to march in line. One of them will want to fight against a training dummy. I've been asked to give him a medal. What do we do? I'll sort it out, your majesty, just like always. To improve your chance of victory, focus on increasing military and authority as much as possible.
Challenge will decrease in difficulty with each attempt. I see.
Oh man, that means I would have had a 50% chance
just
there.
To win.
Maybe,
yeah.
Or to go to the next stage.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, let's see what happens next.
There's a contested wreck.
A contested wreck. Let's check it out. An opportunity, Your Majesty. A cursed ship sunk last week just off our coast. I request permission to salvage the wreckage. Cursed vessels are always full of valuable things. Wait. It might be off your coast,
but it's in our waters by the 9th. In fact, it's closer to our city of Serenza than any of yours.
Oh my goodness. Rowhead is a greed wagon again. You ceded those waters years ago in exchange for a chest of silver. You were having money problems. Your Highness, esteemed council, don't let this liar fool you. So I can either allow the chiefs to salvage the ship, I can allow the grandees to salvage the ship, or by I mean you guys can vote for it. Or we can salvage the ship but return any bounty to the cursed people, which makes people angry. Or we can just say, leave this alone, which will probably work based on my authority. But there's no reason to do that.
As a grandee, I believe you should allow the grandee. Everything is in Rowan's border. Look, out of character,
I think the poor grandees should be allowed to do it because they're behind on their schemes.
Out of character,
I'm voting for the grandees.
Rohit may be a greed wagon, but at least he's not a religious zealot who wants to name an execution method after yourself like I apparently.
I voted for the grandees because I feel like, I feel bad for them. They're doing so badly. Plus, I want their defiance to go down.
You don't like
the north has too many people. But there's one more person on the east, but he's busy turning into a werewolf, so he probably didn't vote. Oh no, he voted to leave the wreck alone.
But you voted, so it was tied, and then you can break the tie.
I'll break the tie in favor of the grandees. What? But it's in our waters.
Move over. The council's word is final, isn't it? Our defiance has gone down to 8.
The operation doesn't even get off the ground. The reefs where they sank are dangerous and full of sharks. Oh no!
Our military is now inadequate.
I guess if you rebel against me, that'll be okay. After dozens of divers go missing or presumed eaten, the whole thing is called off. By royal decree, we can tweak the laws. Royal gamble, reverse voting, anonymous voting. Nah, I'm good with what we've got.
Seems legit.
Okay.
You've had all those options before and never to change it.
That's true.
Honorable challenge, too much crime, and the deceased.
Let's try an honorable challenge.
Road, it looks like we gain no benefits because the check failed.
The 70% check failed, so you guys were going to get a bunch of benefits if it succeeded. Rohit says, Your Highness, this pigeon-livered popinjay has besmirched my honor. He insulted my late mother. He called her a tyrant. Which pigeon-livered popinjay are you talking about? That honorless dog, Gustavo, of the Counts. Who was your mother? Grandee Rohit the Senior, a fine woman, I assure you. She may have crushed a few rebellions in her time, but who hasn't? I would duel him to regain my honor, as any grandee should, but Count Gustavo will not accept without your express permission. Now, hold on a minute. This is a matter of respect. We can't be dueling in King Mark's throne room without due process. You're a coward, Gustavo, and you may as well admit it now. At least I'm no bloodthirsty brute like yourself. It must run in the family.
You're no bloodthirsty brute, Count Gustavo. You, have to be locked in a house at night so you don't go on a rampage.
Okay. Fine, you may duel. Rohit grins wickedly, drawing his sword. Gustavo sighs and rolls his eyes before unclipping a pair of small, jagged daggers and twirling them in his fingers. Duelists circle each other before Grandee Rohit steps in for the first move. Gustavo jumps backwards, batting the sword away. Second strike comes straight after, but this time it's a feint. As Gustavo moves to defend, Rohit twists and diverts his attack. Sword strikes true, a little too true. Rohit cuts a deep gash across Gustavo's neck.
Oh, jeez.
I win. Gustavo collapses, the court breaks into bedlam. What just happened? Your Grace, he's dying. Grandee Rohit killed him. Doctors rush in, but it's too late. Before long, the counts are clamoring for reparations, while the Grandee Sponge says death is a known risk of dueling. Oh my gosh, you guys. We can either sentence Grandee Rohit to death, an eye for an eye. We can order Grandee Rohit to pay monetary reparations, which he does have a lot of money, or we can let him off. Gustavo knew the risks.
I mean, I think he asked for the duel, and they did the duel, and they were dueling with lethal weapons. That's just kind of what happens when you duel with lethal weapons. It's a possibility.
Okay. So, there we go. I think even the North doesn't think that Grandee Rohit necessarily deserves to die. I'm gonna save my powers. I don't really care whether Rohit loses wealth or not, but it's obviously not going to... Alright.
Votes go as you think they should.
Yes, the South says to let him off.
But where is Gustavo, or some people on the other side?
Rohit is ordered to pay the family of Count Gustavo for their loss. The counts are sated, though still angry.
Oh, there isn't. Gustavo is still allowed. The family of Gustavo is allowed.
Gustavo II has joined the council.
Aha! You're now Gustavo II.
Oh, there's a new thing here called the deceased.
No, that was there before.
Oh, that was there before. Okay, never mind. Let's try too much crime. Your Majesty, the courts are overloaded. They can't fit any more prisoners into the prison cells. Didn't the South build a lot of prisons already? We can either announce an amnesty and release everyone, build more prisons, or hold a prisoner lottery and release the winners, which is, like, just totally randomly could have horrible things happen to the kingdom. Okay, you guys. It's pretty random. I don't even understand the stakes of this, so I'm just gonna let you guys vote. Maybe if I understood this event better, I would know how to use my laws on it. It seems clear that choice A is more likely to cause problems for all of us. And we don't know, because literally there's no indication of what the possible good or bad
Rohit
results
doesn't want
are.
to build more prisons after the haunting
His
incident.
other,
I'll go along with that.
his other prison was haunted last time. Ooh, the North has so many votes. You need another purple and B, or we're gonna just do a prison lottery. Let's see what happens. Prison lottery. Much to delay.
Oh,
it was
it actually
successful.
succeeded. Wow.
Defiance went down everywhere, but authority is now decreased. Uh-oh. Some question the safety of letting convicted bandits and brigands roam the lands. As the story of the king's mercy spreads, so does a greater peace. The elderly Grandee Dorinda, a cousin many times removed of Grandee Linda, died in her sleep last week. She was nearly 90, would you believe? Says the treasurer.
Are you suspecting me of being involved?
Better end than most of us
90.
get. Indeed, Your Majesty, she stayed at home in the south most of the time enjoying herself, but she could have spent more time on her account. She died without a will. The nobles were scrabbling for her estate.
Grandee Dorinda was my relative. I wrote to her at least once a year. Of course the estate should be mine.
Creative Burst says, my late great-grandfather used to play backgammon with her. He swore she intended to leave it to our family.
By the 9th, that's a pitiful claim.
That really is a pitiful claim. So we could either redistribute among the southern peasants, raising the defiance of the south into potentially rebellion, claim the estate for me, giving a lot of treasury and raising the south. All right, so
I, Grandee Linda, think you should give the money to
all right,
Grandee
you guys, look. I think that this is obviously Grandee Linda. I'm voting for it. It's not going to give me authority. I'm just voting for it because it's so ridiculous that we should give the money to the person who played backgammon with their great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather. Creative Burst thinks that you should give it to Creative Burst, though. So does Rico. Then there's a redistribution among the southern peasants. No one thinks you should claim
it
for
was
that.
tied. Fortunately, I can break the tie. Only the South wanted to give it to Linda. Fortunately, I can break the tie in favor of Linda.
Oh no, the North is having some issues with the fact that one of them decided to not vote to give all the money to them based on the backgammon claim.
Chief Creative Burst shakes his head, muttering with his friends about favoritism in the council. Grandee Linda and the other Grandees are delighted. They even send the treasurer a gift basket and a token of their appreciation. Wow, look at that, Sal. You got a lot of money. Linda got $1,500.
I got lots of money.
She was really poor. I felt bad about how little money they had. Okay.
Oh, Ada misread the consequences.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Consequences could be dire. All right, here we go. These upstarts are trying to destroy us. Yes, we know that. It's a serious issue. All right. Come on, ambition. Ambition. The marshal requests you to come to the war room first thing in the morning. She has news of the troops. Troops are looking good, Your Majesty. The northern warriors took a whole nest of wyverns last month. Now the key is to make sure the armies are loyal to us, not to their region. Easier said than done. Need to speak to the ordinary soldiers. Grease some palms, smoke some cigars, reminisce over old war stories. They don't respect the council any more than I do. At the end of the day, Your Majesty, it'll come down to how much they respect you. When she returns, the marshal punches you in the arm. So hard you almost puke. Is that good? Was that a happy punch? The troops are with us! They're fed up of the council passing all these namby-pamby so-called laws. It's time for an iron fist to punch this kingdom back into shape. Over the next few weeks, soldiers across the kingdom mutiny against their commanding officers and swear fealty directly to the king. The nobles beg for a council session to discuss the crisis, but you put them off, blaming the revolution of the renovation of the council hall. Of course, there's one person you can't avoid, your wife. Hat says, I trust you'll treat the chiefs well through all this, my dear. There's no need for bloodshed.
You can say they're not your people anymore. I won't hurt anyone. It's just to make a point. I won't harm anyone unless they stand against me. Or if they wanted me to leave them alone, they shouldn't have schemed against me.
I say I won't hurt anyone. It's just to make a point. Maybe I'm a fool, but I believe you. Don't let me down. At long last, after you're sure the armies of the kingdom are in the palm of your hand, you allow the next council session. Go ahead. The final council session. The marshal stands at your right hand, flanked by a garrison of the city watch. Your honor guard flanks you on the other side, ready for anything. The nobles follow in one by one. Is that an Iron Maiden? Most of them are looking nervous, but Chief Rico just looks angry. Your recent conduct has been outrageous, Your Highness. Unforgivable. Delaying the council session, secret meetings with our soldiers, violating the feudal contract. My top officers have been killed in this little mutiny of yours. Let's call a vote right now. I'm here ready to deprive you of that crown. No, scratch that. I'm ready to deprive you of your head. All right. I am going to...
You can drop him into that scorpion pit. You can
I'm going to go with this with I'm going to use intimidation, not violence. I promise that's what I would do.
Yeah, you did.
I inform Chief Rico any more of this kind of talk will be met with cold steel. The Eastern Knights back up your words, drawing their swords and smiling coldly. Gods be good, your greatness. How dare you threaten me? No one wants blood spilled today.
Well, he does.
The marshal shrugs but says nothing. By the star flare, damn you! Fine, go ahead. Just know that this kingdom will remember you as a tyrant. There's a moment of silence. Your Grace, I'm sure we are all delighted to be here. Right, you lot. I don't think we need any more votes, do we? The king can take over from here. Of course, Marshal. You don't need to scare them, Marshal. She wouldn't do anything so disrespectful as rolling her eyes, but she folds her arms huffily. As you say, Your Majesty. As the nobles shuffle out with their tails between their legs, you let out a joyful laugh. Maybe some would describe it as an evil cackle, but those people would be dissidents, and you deal with them harshly. Without the council holding you back, your daily duties are so easy, so efficient. Your firm grip on the kingdom will secure an excellent future for little Mart II when the time comes for her. Your reign of terror is here, but your future has only just begun. The chief's agreement with the ice giants fell apart. The giants ended up attacking the north instead. The subsequent war kept the chiefs too busy to worry about matters of the throne. Oh, we got Six Semper Tyrannis. You won the game by becoming a fearsome tyrant. With their plans in tatters, the counts retreated to their castles to brood. Their olive branch was rejected, the secret of eternity that they had guarded for eons. They would not be so kind again. In a sun-dappled vineyard, Xenoviva and Grandee Rohit opened a bottle of their finest vintage. Their schemes had amounted to nothing. There's always next time. King Mark's reign spent another 15 blood-drenched years. The council couldn't defy him, fearing a gruesome fate. It was a dark and fearful time for everyone but the king, who seemed to enjoy himself immensely, especially when spikes and thumbtooth were involved. Hey, I was nice. I didn't hurt anyone.
King Mark the Oppressor.
King Mark the Oppressor. Wealthiest noble, Linda from her inheritance. Poorest noble was Rico. The kingdom statistics are here, and I think you get to keep them if in Queen Mark II's rule if we play again. Or Queen Mark II would be the new monarch if we play again.
Yes.
And Linda would get to keep her extra money, and like the counts would get to keep their extra trade and farming.
Our schemes may not have amounted to much, but in the end, despite the tyranny that overthrew me, I was rich.
And that is the game. So
literal tyranny.
I forgot to record this entire session, so
I'll have to grab it off
Linda's
of Twitch
gonna have to grab it off of Twitch also after. But what did you guys think of the game? Talented Logador said I loved it. And of course, as my great-great-grandchildren will remember this. Creative Per says fun. Rico said having to offset authority to win was bonkers hard. It was bonkers hard because I was raising authority, but I have to say, you guys chose that. You could have chosen to lower stability to win. It was already pretty low. You probably would have won if you picked that over...
I thought the 10 religion would be easy, but then, like, because we started with 10 religion, but then 3 religion was lost and we never gained more of it.
Yes. I have to say that, like, North... I think the scheme you picked was cooler, where you pretend to help at the last minute and betray the giants. But the one where you just work with the giants and kill us all, you probably would have actually legit won. Because our stability was pretty low, and you could have ensured that it didn't keep going up while staying above 0.
Yeah, I know, it's good to, like, learn the rules. And Mark was figuring it out along the way, too, because he'd read about it but never played it, so... Rohit II will make the world believe in God again. Yes.
Rico said part of it's not understanding the mechanics. Yeah, I didn't know what it would take for me to win. It looks like for me to win, I needed to succeed at a check based on military, followed by a check based on authority, and it's random each time. Yeah, we didn't know the phase for victory. It even said the king is likely to lose in the first game, but I actually won mainly because of the fact that like, in some ways, I lucked out that lower authority was what the North picked, because the North was well in the lead until they picked that one. And the religion people, who knows, their third phase could have been easy.
Yeah.
And 10 religion, they already had. So if we hadn't all worked together to lower their religion by making Rohit talk to the ghost,
Yeah.
then they might have won too. Like, we kept them in their second phase, and their third phase could have been easy. It could have just been like get money, which Rohit was constantly trying to do.
Purple wanted to raise authority also, so the fact that
Yes.
Purple and you wanted
Yes.
to raise authority
Purple
made it hard
and
to
I
lower
wanted to raise authority,
Yeah.
whereas Blue chose to lower authority, and I think that was strategically challenging, but it also made the game very interesting. Yellow wanted to lower authority
earlier, but then on the current or stability, yeah.
Oh,
the previous
stability,
phase.
but not until
Not until the last phase. That
Or
we're
not
on,
until
or
the first
second
phase, yeah.
In the first phase, we wanted to lower stability, and then in the second phase, which we got stuck in, we never made it to the third. We wanted to
That's
raise
right.
faith.
or the second was faith, and we don't know the third.
We don't
yeah.
know the third, yeah.
So yeah, that was fun. Now before we go, let's say bye to YouTube. Bye,
Bye,
YouTube.
YouTube.